Hello, everybody, and welcome to As Long as Everybody's Having Fun. I'm Mr. Max, and I'm joined once again by my good friend, Phil the Trill.
Hey-o. Pew, pew, pew.
And I'm also
Sorry,
joined today by another
You're
good
good,
friend of
Max.
mine, John Slow Max Liao from the channel Legend of Myth that I assume all of you are familiar with because I have been on the channel many times doing panel. And it's not the first time Max is on this channel either. But now
Yeah.
imagine you watch all my content. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, welcome all. Welcome. Glad having you guys.
Yeah. It's good to see you, Max Liao. I
Whoops.
like
Oh my
I
God.
like your
I just put out the StreamYard link to my. Hey,
Oh.
guys, don't jump
join.
in. Don't join. I gave you the wrong link. I meant to give you this one that I'm about to put. But if you're watching on my channel, come on over here to Off the Rails Roleplay.
get out of here.
There we go.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was my bad.
He opened the gates.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Well, see, I figured we'd brigade you and just take over the show.
Mhm.
Yeah. I can have like up to 9 people. I don't know.
We can't have
Okay.
anyone actually.
Yeah.
It's just
full
Mr.
out.
Max and Max.
Yeah.
So I'm
All the
calling
Maxes
Mr. Max today. Just want everyone to be aware. How you doing,
So,
Mr. Max? Do you have a good week?
I have a good week. I didn't have any in gaming this week. Like we always start the show with like this, what our week in gaming looked like. I didn't have any gaming this week, but I did work on Bastard Sword again, and I've been working on Witchcraft, and I think it's gonna be pretty cool. It's different than the
Potion
other
bullets.
tradition. Yeah, basically, potion you can threat people and they explode. Potion you can drink. You can enchant magic object. You have some limited cantrips that you can just threat people. But I think it's gonna be pretty cool. Like I think I'm really gonna capture the vibe of like the Village Witch or the Witcher, if you want to go that like kind of character, if you want to go that route, right? So
Take
I'm
a
happy with,
second about it. So the differences have been prep time, time to cast so far. Those have been the big differences. And then obviously different words of power have different costs based on the
Yeah.
discipline.
And
So
the
what's
tier
the
G,
big-
you
what's the
need to have
key-
like favor with the god.
So what's the cornerstone, or I'm trying to think, the keystone like feature of witchcraft, would you say?
Well, the big difference with witchcraft is when you create those magical objects, whether it be like potion or ancient curious, right? Enchanted like object and stuff like that. There's no roll at using time because like all the rolling is done in the prep, so anybody can use them. If you make them like a healing potion and stuff like that, anybody can drink it. So it's very useful to have on a party and stuff like that. If you
So
do like a
different
flying
than-
carpet, anybody with the activation word can use it, right?
That's cool. That would be different than the wizard because only the wizard can use the scrolls, right?
Only the wizard can use the scroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's also like make you dependent on like carrying all these items. So if you get robbed of your inventory, well, then you just lost your magic, which is also true for the wizard with the scroll, right?
Yeah.
Not with the elementalists, right? So they all have different kind of limitations, stuff like that. And I think different identity. Yeah.
So it's going to be kind of an interesting, like, if you're just a pure witch, like, you're almost just like a vendor or like a craft bot.
Well, you also have your cantrip that can be useful, and you can throw those you have like those explosive potion. You can like those grenade. You can throw at people.
Keep the good ones for yourself, obviously.
Yeah. If you can throw well, it's useful if you can throw well.
Yeah.
Because you have to roll for that, right?
Very good. Right on. I gaming over here. I wasn't able to play with my buddies.
No, it's been a couple of weeks now, eh?
I think it's been like 4 weeks have passed. My friend went on vacation. Something else happened. I forget. But basically I was kind of busy last week. Something happened. But what I did do though was I beat Subnautica, guys. So I just wanted you to be aware.
Oh,
dope ass game.
Congratulations, I guess.
Thank you. I guess.
Yeah. Is it a hard game?
Is it?
No. Maxino.
I wouldn't call it hard.
Yeah,
it's kind of like an interesting puzzle, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You played it, Max?
Yeah. Well, I used to stream it when I was a video game streamer.
Oh,
really?
right.
Oh.
I
Is it
haven't
old?
played the second one, and I did. I
haven't
think there's a DLC for it. I didn't get into.
How old
yet.
is it? I thought it wasn't that old. I thought it was just a couple year old. You haven't like
Probably
done...
like 8 years old or something. I know I was in Germany
Oh.
when I played it, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't
And I've
realize it
lived
was
here
that
now
old.
for like 5.5 years.
How's your week in
Uh,
gaming? You've been looking,
yeah.
Max.
How's my what?
Your week in gaming.
My week in gaming.
Yeah.
I
we
did a
actually
bit of-
count the full fortnight, so you can have 2 weeks.
Okay, well, if
Yeah.
we're gonna go Fortniting here, I haven't really written in my game much recently. There's some reasons for that. Nothing other than just bored. But I wrote a consolidated. What did I call it? Consolidated Palladium Books Megaverse rules, where I took it's 114 pages, where I take all the rules from Heroes Unlimited and then some from Robotech, and I now have a complete guide of just rules. I have about a handful of people right now who are looking it over, making sure that I didn't make any errors and whatnot. So there've been a couple of minor tweaks to it, but it's now let's be clear. I'm not doing this at like 11-point font. I turned 53 today, so it's like I need bigger font. So 114 pages is probably in real person term, or in old book terms, like 9-10 point font is probably more like.
By the way, people at
something.
home, like today is Max Liao's birthday.
Yes.
He just mentioned it, like he just turned 53 today. It's actually today. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is his birthday. So
Happy
everybody wish him happy birthday in chat.
Woo, thank you. Yeah, look how I'm spending my birthday. I could be spending time with my wife right now on a Saturday night. That's my birthday. No, I'm here. What kind of nerd does that make me?
Intelligent,
It's 53-year-old.
tasteful. Was
She's
that
all squinting at me, like,
a
Yeah,
nerd of
you know what?
taste? I don't know. What's that?
I can crack a beer open to have a beer with you for your birthday.
There you go.
Woo. Well, I don't have any alcohol. Well, I do have alcohol near me, but that's super chat alcohol. So all I have is decaf coffee right now.
Well,
Nice. That's a big old jug of decaf you got there, man.
Yeah.
I'll still drink a
Thank you,
drink for
folks.
you.
I
then.
appreciate that.
I'm not actually that familiar with your game, Max. Are you saying that your game is the compilation of Palladium?
No.
Rules, or that's like a
I
separate
did
thing?
that. So I've got like multiple projects that I'm constantly working on, whether it's writing or whatever. But I have so my guess is that Legion of Myth, as far as a YouTube channel goes, is going to, I wouldn't say shutter its doors, but I will say is going to really, really, really pare back the content that we're doing in 2027, because I just have too many things I have to do in life now, and hate to say it, but the YouTube channel doesn't pay the bills. So and so if I either hire a contractor or I'm the contractor, so to speak, and I need to do stuff. But so I'm working on some things. The biggest thing I'm working on recently is my Pigs in Space campaign, which is something I want to run next year, which is essentially After the Bomb meets Aliens Unlimited. And so I've been working on that, because while I'm very fly by the seat of the pants, there are some things I want to have ready to go out of the gate, so that I can just kind of move this along, and then as they go in weird directions. And I was talking with Mr. Max about this behind the scenes a little bit. It was, I think, yesterday. Yeah. But like I have to make sure that the players get along. So I do have to have a bit of, I want to call it railroady, but I do have to have a little bit of like, you're in training, so you are going to be doing these things. Do you
mean the people or the characters?
The characters.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's a little bit the people as well, because I have to know that they get along with each other, right? I can't have a character in there who's always trying to backstab everybody, because as soon as and the players will know this beforehand, they're going to be playing in a Lost in Space or Battlestar Galactica or Stargate Destiny or whatever the heck you want to call it, where they're out there in the cosmos. I can't have them backstabbing each other, because then they won't make it past the first or second.
That sounds like the best time to backstab each other. It sounds like
then if I was over, good job.
Right, I'm saying, like, if I was like
Those
watching a show or like watching a movie, I'd be all about the what's that guy's name? Dr. I forgot.
Oh, Dr. Smith?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
I mean,
Dr.
then then Stargate Destiny had Rush. That was kind of the same thing.
What is it in BSG? The new one is like Balar, some shit like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
All the best characters are the betrayers.
Yeah, but the problem, well, the problem with that though is, luckily he was a survivalist. Is that I'm only going to have 6 people at the table. I don't have an ensemble cast of like 30 people, so I don't want that to start after things happen, because they're all going to be pigs. That's why it's called Pigs in Space.
Okay.
If a character
Oh.
dies, well, then we're gonna be rolling up an alien for you, and you get to come back
Bacon.
in that way. But
Bacon's on the menu, boys.
Yeah,
Bacon on the menu. Yeah.
so, but I've been working on that. I've been working on this. So yeah, the for me, I needed to get this Palladium document done. I'm not doing it for anybody else other than for me. But I don't want to say I was surprised, but I was surprised that it came out to 114 pages. I thought I could do it in like
It's a lot
40.
of rules. It's a lot
Yeah,
of
well, that's the
yeah.
thing, and I'm only doing and look, the first couple of people I handed it to were hardcore Rifts folks, and they kept pushing back at me. That rule's wrong. That rule's wrong. That rule's wrong. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because
Do you
not-
do you like quote from where it come from? Because like there might be like some contradiction,
Right.
not contradiction necessarily,
Well,
but some
Palladium
variation
has
in
it
all
all
the
the-
different.
No, I don't do that. What I do is at the beginning of it is I just tell people this is coming from Heroes Unlimited Second Edition, not your stupid Rifts game. Nobody likes Rifts anyway.
Okay.
That'll
People
anger all the
like Rifts.
Palladium fans saying that. But,
Maxley quoted.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, it's been it took a lot more work than I thought it was going to do. I thought I was going to knock it out in like 2 days, and that didn't happen.
Oh.
It took closer to 2 weeks, and
Wife in chat.
oh crap! I mean, I love you.
There you go, Noro. Thank you for lending us your husband for the night.
I don't know if this got past us, but I feel like this didn't happen. So
I didn't want to
thank
interrupt.
you,
Yeah,
Mario Trumpet.
yeah, and he also
Thank you,
gave $1
Mercurius.
earlier, so I want to thank him for both of those. Well, for those $3 Australian
Yeah.
and birthday wish for Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pigs in space.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's a working title or whatever. Is that like you said? It's kind of inspired by 2 Palladium systems. I know you're bros with those guys. Are you getting like a collab with them, or is that like going under the umbrella?
No. I intentionally don't do that because I don't want
Yeah.
there to be any type of impropriety or whatever. Do I have working relationships with them? Yes. I actually make AI music for Palladium Books with a
Oh,
full
yeah.
license agreement and
Oh
whatever
yeah,
else.
I remember that. Yeah.
But no, the pigs in space thing is my deal. There are 2 concepts that I had rattling around in my head, and I went with the pigs in space because I thought I could do more with it, and it'd be
Yeah.
more fun for me as the game master. And honestly, to some degree, it'd be less. I don't like using this term because I don't mean it this way, but for conceptual sake, be less railroady. It's going to be more like, hey, where are you going? What are you trying to do? Oh, you went to this planet, and I just have more ideas. I like the idea of like, ooh, I can have a planet that does this, and ooh, a planet that does that. What was that Star Trek episode? Let's see what happens. How these guys handle, stuff like that.
I don't know.
Yeah. The Full Metal Dragon asked like, why pigs?
Because
Fair.
I'm basing on a pigs in space, man. Pigs in space.
I don't know what that is. I missed that reference.
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
play off of Jews in Space from Spaceballs,
No.
right?
It's from the Muppet Show.
Oh,
Oh, it totally is.
Maya Trumpet got it. Inspired by the Muppet. There
Yes.
you go.
Yeah,
Oh,
thank
of
you.
course.
Oh, there you go.
It's just they're
Oh,
not
no,
going to be
the
as
Jews in-
dysfunctional.
The Jews in
Oh.
Space is a song. It's not the pigs. in
Oh,
Space.
okay.
I remember that now. You guys know Spaceballs? It's like Spaceballs 2. Never mind.
Yeah, I know
So the trailer
Spaceball.
for
I
it.
haven't is Spaceballs 2 out? That's not
Spaceballs 2 is out, but I'm talking about at the end of Spaceballs when they're teasing Spaceballs 2, which I don't actually.
Wait,
Oh,
Spaceballs
doesn't-
2 is out now? I thought that was still in.
No,
No,
it's coming out.
it's History of the World Part 1.
Oh, there. Okay,
I
yeah,
think. I think it was History of the World Part 1. That's right. My bad.
Oh.
Anyways, whatever. That sounds pretty cool. I'm
Yeah.
curious. So, I mean, you're bringing in the mutants. So
Yep.
I'm assuming you're going to give them pig powers or something.
Yeah.
Like,
So
yeah.
I'm actually going to make.
Whatever. What is a pig's power? I guess
I don't know
smell?
off the top of my
Super
head.
good smell,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna lie. I don't know. I have to go to After the Bomb and do that.
They
you
can
know-
eat anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You feed them your corpses.
They're smart. They're clever. Are they
They probably
good?
do have an IQ bonus. I really don't know, and I'm not going to use any. Like honestly, they do have flying pigs in After the Bomb. I'm not using any of the chimeras or any of that nonsense. It's just going to be rolled up as pigs. I thing is I like the TMNT and After the Bomb concepts. I like mutant animals. I like anthropomorphic animals. If you use them not as anime characters that you're trying to sleep with,
Furries.
but as things with big sharp teeth that like to eat you. So I tend to like that concept.
big pigs.
Yeah, I like Catboy too.
What's that?
I like Cat Boys too.
Cat boys in space.
Cat Boys in Space. Have you thought of that?
Have you considered Cat Boys?
Yeah.
Max?
I you know what? I've actually considered a lot of things, and I ultimately always came back to I just want to do the pigs. I
Yeah.
want to use the pigs in space name, and I don't care. So I'm
There you
going
go.
with pigs.
I feel like
Mr.
Max
Magnus
is
is popular
like
culture. 1 out of 25. Yeah. One
Max
day
is
I'm gonna
like
get some.
looking. Max is like looking at Cat Boys. Is like, yeah, but they're not pigs. Like I feel like that's
Well, I
Conversation
debated the
goes.
idea of like rolling up, letting them roll their own, and I was like, no, it's pigs in space, not mutants in space or Muppets in space. So,
yeah.
and like I
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
when a character dies, they're going to be in a hole. They're not going to be on Earth on after the bomb Earth. They're going to be elsewhere. So they're going to have to roll up an alien.
I don't know.
Nice.
That all the pigs are gone.
Yeah, I was talking about
These are
that
the
with
last
some folks
pigs.
some folks at work. What's going to happen if all the characters eventually die? And because
Yeah.
they're kind of their mission is they want. I mean, they can make their mission whatever they want, but the initial idea is they want to get back home. Or like, oh crap, we're lost. Something's going on here. Maybe they want to make this their home. I don't care. It's up to them. But let's just say their mission was we got to get back home, and slowly but surely one crew member and then another crew member and then another crew member. Who's going to want to get back home? Home where? We're not from that place. Let's do something out here. Let's set up a barista on this undead planet and call it a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, that's interesting. I hope it's going to go well for you. You need to get it. You need to get it going, right? Like you need to get back in the game.
You need to get it
You need to
going
get
before
back in the
you
game.
pair back here, bro.
No, I'm so I got to work on it slowly right now.
You got to
because
do the influencer move.
Yeah.
Well, so I want to be clear about this. Legion of Myth isn't dying. We're not like bye, shutting the door, deleting the channel. It's just we're not going to prioritize this stuff. So like if there's a rainy Sunday day and I can't get anything done outside, okay, I might stream.
Might do a stream. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it feels like you guys are doing like 2.5 to 4 videos a week or something crazy. Like it's.
I just split my
kinda
live streams up into
intense.
videos. Is all I do.
Yeah.
So
But they're
it's like-
long stream.
Yeah.
Sunday is a prime day. Yeah, I get it, right? I get it.
Well, you'll have the GMI and then you'll have Palladium stuff. So it's like
That's possible. So we'll see. Like
no, I'm saying like your workload. It's not just like one.
Yeah, well, so I have 3 shows really.
Yeah.
The Sunday
Yeah.
thing can alternate. We're also tipping our toe back into some folks want to talk to us. Thing is, I don't want to turn the Sunday show into just interviews like like this. It's not what we're here for. At the same time, people have been asking us to do a few more of those. So again, we're tap dancing around that. Like that's why we had Grim on, for example, last week, and we're gonna have Kevin and Sean on tomorrow. But then I want to get back to talking about games, and then there's a couple people on Twitter, and even though I don't really use Twitter, and one person on Instagram was like saying, "Hey, can I jump on your show as well?" And I'm thinking, well, I can do one a month because I already have Kevin and Sean once a month. I'll do somebody else once a month. So how does April next year when I'm not around sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can be less workload than the deep dive, I guess, depending how you approach them. It can be more, but
News.
should we talk about some gaming news, right?
It's time.
That's it's time. Let's do that, and we can come back to those subjects later on in the
Hey man, it's your show. I'm just along for the
interview.
ride and drinking my decaf to stay
There you go.
warm.
Stay, warm, I guess, because the Salabama isn't enough. So this week in fun, important news. There you go.
we go.
Here we go. So what do we have? Gen Con was well, I guess 2 weeks ago, right? Yeah, it was 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
we had a
Yeah.
whole show about Gen Con.
We have a whole show about Gen Con. I just want to do a bit of a comeback because they passed 74,000 attendees. It's 2,000
Wow.
more than the previous year, so they're still growing. Just by the turnstile number, they're now the second biggest gaming convention after like Spiel Essen in Germany.
Yeah.
So Spiel Essen get like 220K turnstile.
Oh wow.
And
I
Gen
didn't know
Con
it was
gets
that huge.
200,000. Yeah.
You ever been to Gen Con, Max? Pretty
Gen
cool.
Con owes me money, so I'm gonna burn it down. No, seriously, Gen Con owes me money.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So 2020.
What's
So we were
gonna-
supposed to go as Legion of Myth in 2020 when I was still in Germany, and of
Oh,
course
right.
all the COVID nonsense and everything else going on at that point. And so I refunded my ticket, and they're like, "No, you can have it in our little cash account here in case you come here." I'm like, "No, No, I
Oh,
want the money. Like we don't do that. We don't do the refunds. I'm like, yes, you do. I know you do refunds. Like, no, yours just already in the escrow account, so we're not going to do a refund for you. And I couldn't get my lawyer involved because I was overseas and small
Mhm.
claims court, blah blah blah. And it's like, so Gen Con owes me money, so F them.
Oh yeah, because you bought a booth.
Huh? No,
You're
I
saying
no,
you
no,
got a booth?
No,
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 no.
just a ticket.
I had a VIP.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah,
That's not nothing.
No, I go there to play games. I don't go there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do the booth stuff. I actually want to play games. So like, I always find a Battlelords of the 23rd Century game to sit in because that's like my guilty pleasure game.
I'm surprised that those are even like happening there in Gen Con. It's
Well,
pretty
they got
niche
all
game.
kinds of games going on. at
Oh,
Gen
yeah.
Con, man.
Dude, games are
so-
all over the place. Apparently, it's expanded to the point now they're in the RCA Dome. They're like when I played there,
Yeah.
I played a few games
Yeah.
at like above restaurants and so forth, and different hotels, like not just in the convention center. There's games for everything.
Really,
I
I'm
went the
surprised, like,
year- I went the year before the one you're talking about. It was a good time.
Yeah, so we went and we were trying to go every 5 years. So we went we went in 2011 and not 10, but 2015, and then I went back when it was in once when it was in Milwaukee, and then once when it was in Lake Geneva back when I was in high school. So
Well, don't you have an account with them? Don't you have some
Yeah.
Gen Con to go
Yeah.
for free?
if you want to go
I-
back,
no.
you can go. You can,
no, dude, F them. Honestly, and it's not just about the money; it's also about all their woke bullshit.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
yeah.
I
So
mean,
it's
I am
pretty-
never going to call. I am never going to call somebody that looks like a dude a she or a they or any such nonsense. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, it's fair. I think
There
that
you
it's it's a pretty, and this is gonna kind of lead into maybe a little bit what we're gonna talk about today, but it's pretty huge crowd, so I'm sure there's a wide
And they're smelly, and they're
Group
all
of
anime
people that-
cosplayers now. And
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a wide group of people that are biting their tongue and going anyways, if you wanted to find
Oh,
yeah.
like-minded.
Oh yeah.
well, but
yeah.
here's the thing: if nobody's pushing anything, I don't care. I can sit at a table with anybody. It's
Yeah.
it's the nonsense, like
Yeah.
dude. I had to sit at a table with a fucking brony.
Mhm.
And I'm telling you, man, he's this fat dude. He had been 35, 40 years old. He had a fucking My Little Pony purse and so forth. And all I wanted to do was mock him the entire time. It's like, you were
Yeah,
not
it seemed like a
bullied enough
prime-
as a fucking child.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, prime target for bullying.
The one time I was
Yeah.
able to get a game going at my friendly local game store, it's like everyone was kind of cool, and then some dude was like late, and he showed up, and he wanted to play some like tranny hobgoblin trap,
Oh Lord.
and I was like, no. And he's like, okay, but can you give me a ride next time? I'm like, I'm not doing it. Get out. He wanted me to like give him a ride for where he was going to the game store. Like, I'm not taking you home either.
Yeah, no.
It was really crazy. But anyways, like just
Posted
There's
that it was
always
over
more.
like 25,000 event
that
at Gen
sounds
Con.
about
That's
It's huge.
that's a lot considering
Yeah.
like 74,000 attendees, right? So it's
Only
like
34. I mean, it was 54,000 just a couple of years ago.
74,000.
I'd say
74,000
74,000
attendee, yeah. So 25,000 event. It's like, well, it's a third. It's like
The only
every
part
year.
of Gen Con
whatever.
that really gets on my last nerve is all the damn anime cosplay bullshit they have. It's like, this is a gaming convention. Save that shit for Comic-Con or something else. Because they end up taking up all the, at least the last time I was there, they end up taking up all the good
Yeah.
rooms, all the stuff because they want to do their stupid ass cosplay. I don't care if you want to dress up. That doesn't bother me at all. But when they shut down the room, say, because we got to have voting for, no, you don't. You don't.
Oh,
This
as an
is a gaming
event.
convention.
I don't care about the costumes.
No, I don't care if people
I
do
don't
it.
care
I don't
either.
like it when it turns into, it's a gaming convention, not an anime
Yeah.
cosplay convention.
Yeah, but, dude,
But
like
who butters their bread? Let's be honest.
25,000 events. One of them can be a fucking costume. It's fine.
Have
But
zero
it
issue.
probably take more logistics
bit-
than just like
yeah.
a table with people
Yeah.
playing.
They'll
games.
take an exhibition hall for sure.
Yeah. So there was any awards going on at Gen Con. We talked about it a bit.
Yeah.
We had some result that I wanted to go over. The winner for the best cover art was the Crook Moon, which we talked about, right?
We
And
did not choose this one.
We did not choose this one. I think we had chosen this one, right?
Yeah.
That's
Historic
much
Arcana.
better cover art.
They ended up being the runner-up. So they
Why
got
do
second
people want
place.
this childish art? Free League's coming out with a game, a Space Marine game, and I love Free League. I won't get it because the art looks like it's made for 5-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, people that's what people are now, right?
People are 5-year-olds now.
We have an epidemic of like arrested development.
Sure.
The best interior art was won by Legend in the Mist, right? And
Ooh, I don't think we picked this one either. Did we?
I
It's like
I
a
think this
comic
might have
book.
been one of the ones we liked.
I think we liked it, but I'm not sure if there was one better than that. But it's pretty decent art, I find.
Okay. It might have been. I think that. Yeah, I don't remember. Oh well.
Yeah, and the runner-up is
Mhm.
much worse, if you
Okay.
ask me, which was this floral dragon, the field guide to
Mhm.
floral dragon, right? It's very they're dragon but made of flower, right? And
Yeah.
I mean,
it's very
okay, if it's
pastel-y.
thematic for the game, I'm not going to harp on that.
Yeah.
If that's the type of game, is obviously not a game that I would want to play. But one of the things that I always say about the art is it needs to evoke the world. And if it's
Yeah.
evoking the world, then it did its job. I don't care if it's, like people love Errol Otis. I don't think it's good art, but it is evocative. When you see it, you know what you're getting into. So I don't complain about it
Mhm.
in that regard. So I, that's evocative right there. I'm okay with it for the purposes of that game, but it's just all these weird colors that people are doing. It's like, man, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's been going on for a while. It's like when people look at 5e art, like, oh my god, the art is so good. I'm like, no, it's not. It's
Yeah.
it's children's art.
One thing that I was sort of with those bestiary, right? Because this is what it is. One thing that
Yeah.
always like leave me kind of cold is like they're like picture of the creature, and oh, there you go. You got like a $2 from your trumpet on your channel to wish you a happy birthday then again.
Anybody watching on my channel,
Trump.
we are co-streaming, so it'd be cool
Yep.
if you would go over to the Off the Rails roleplay channel instead of hanging out on mine. But they're the
doesn't
primary
matter.
on this. I'm just the guest.
It doesn't matter. It's
I'm trying
you
to
can
help
come
you
over.
out, man.
If you come over, and if you like what we do, right, subscribe and like the video, right? That'd be cool.
I mean, I can't make them go. Oh, and thank you, Mercurius. Appreciate that.
Yeah. But one thing I would say about those bestiary, right? Oftentimes the art doesn't tell any story because just like the creature like standing there, right, and in some pose and stuff like that. So speak to me less. I've always found them like less interesting.
I think it's like this kind of picture right here. It's more of like a anatomy drawing, versus like an action. How do they fight?
Yeah, exactly.
I would like to see how they fight or something like that.
Seeing them in action would be cool.
Yeah. Versus this is a 3D rendered. This is all sides of them. Like I don't care about that.
Yeah, you can come over, Noro. You can come over the Off the Rails roleplay channel.
I thought you were going to bed.
There's one game that won. What did it won? He won like the best family product. That is shared to my art, right? The Dungeon and Kitten.
Mm-hmm.
So
number one.
There you go. So I was talking about this game, looking forward to it. It won best family product. Nice. So I can wait to see the cartoon that's gonna come with it.
$40. It comes with an app, it looks like. And
starter set. And there's a bunch of like cardboard, right, for kids.
That's pretty. I mean, it's like a board game. As far as maybe
you can try it with your daughter, right, Phil? Your daughter would be in that age, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I've been meaning to bring this up. Go ahead and do the next thing. I'll show you here.
You can bring it. Okay. Best layout was this one I found interesting and I want to talk about it because the best layout was Warhammer, the role-playing game, the old world role-playing game, right? The new one they're doing. And I don't know why now that the set web doesn't work. I cannot flip to let me try to reload. Maybe. Bye. All right. And I found it interesting because this is the winner for the best layout and interior design, right? And you can see in the picture there, it's fairly standard.
Mm-hmm.
And the runner-up was this one, Berserker, which used a kind of Morgborg approach, right, with style over substance. And I was
That's cool.
surprised. It's cool, but it's not great for a gaming game. For a
I
gaming,
don't know about winning a layout.
No.
like it's
fucking
very
really
artsy.
cool.
Like if it was like a reference book, like for like some kind of fictional world, stuff like that,
Mhm.
that'd be cool. For a game book, it makes you look for the information too much, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
That's fair.
But oftentimes those kind of contests like this kind of shit, right? So I was surprised that this took second place while the more standard one took first.
And this
Yeah,
is why
the-
I say artists ruin everything.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, they do. So my
The art is
job,
nice, though.
I'm actually, not anymore, but I was a professional layout. Like that's what I can't draw a stick figure to save my life, but I absolutely did layout and design.
Yep.
None of that crap. That's too that's way too artistic. That's nonsense.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't even want to read it.
It's very form over function. I
Mhm.
would have given this a prize for interior art to this.
Yeah.
I think the interior art of that is very nice.
I agree with that. I would also say it's kind of strange how the one extremely vanilla format
Mhm.
wins, and then the one drastically different format is, second place. So, like, what's the criteria? Is it just
I
popularity
assume-
votes, or
No, I assume it's probably like it's a panel of judge, and they were probably
weird-
like divided on that, right? There was probably like about
Oh,
half the
that's
judge
fair.
that wanted something very fancy and newish, and half the judge said no, it's a game book, it need to be readable and stuff like that. So and
So you think that's
this
more of
one-
like a
one-
disagreement as far as who's the better one? So this is like
Yeah.
the nod to the other, the minority of the judges who thought this was first place, maybe.
yeah,
Let me show you what I got. My kids bought me this for Father's Day, I think, actually. But it's like
what is
it's
it?
me.
The Trial of the King. Oh, nice.
Yeah,
The
it's
Trial
like
of
a
King Philip.
custom. It's like a custom role-playing game they printed out for you, and it's got like my family's names in it and stuff as NPCs and stuff. It's kind of
That's
dope,
cool.
right?
That's
So
cool.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah,
pretty cool. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna play that with the fam.
yeah.
So it'll be all right.
Dagger Art won a bunch of stuff. It won best game.
Does anybody
rule.
even play it? I know nobody. I know a bunch of people backed it and bought it, but I don't know anybody who plays it.
I always go look at the RPG subreddit when I prepare for this show, right, to see what people are talking about. And there seemed to be a lot of talk about people playing Dagger Art.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I guess they are, right? I'm surprised too. We played it.
We did.
We weren't too impressed. But
I have a feeling, though, you're more likely to find people that play it who are online a lot because they will be, Matt Colville
Retarded.
fans. Wait,
No,
Dagger
that's
Heart's,
Just Steel.
yeah, that's the other one. Yeah, Critical Role fans.
Yeah. Oh, and BioKido say that
Especially
Dagger Art is
Redditors.
super popular. At most convention, there's a lot of group in my city. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
I think there's like surprisingly, but like it's those bubble, right? Nobody in our bubble will play them, and there's gonna be bubble where everybody's playing it, right? That's the biggest thing.
And
so
I bet
I'm wondering if that. So with what they're saying here, like, is it just a con game? And I like there are a lot of games that people will only play at cons,
Yeah.
and then then their long term campaign tends to be D&D or whatever, right? So I'm wondering if that's what it is. It's just a con game.
Like I said, like judging from what I see on Reddit, and that's a very like specific, also kind of like
Sure.
subsection of the species, the humans. there a lot of people like seem to play that as like their regular game.
Okay.
I feel like
Uh,
most in-person games, like for Daggerheart and other not D&D games, probably going to be mostly just played in a convention. Because
Maybe.
if you're like trying to get a pickup game, unless you're like with your friends and they're like, hey,
Yeah.
let's try this. But it's like if you're trying to find a group, you're not gonna be like, oh, I want to play Daggerheart. Like that's not gonna happen. It's gonna
Yeah.
be like, okay, hey, where's the D&D group? Let me try to convince them to play something.
Yeah.
What I mean?
So what else they win? Oh, they went like they got second place for the product of the year. They got best free product for their quick start adventure. The Darlington Press YouTube channel got the best streaming content for their How to Play series. They call Get Your Sheet Together. So there
Have you seen
were
that?
a big What?
Yeah.
If
Have
I've
you
seen
seen
it?
that show?
No.
Okay. Just wondering. Max, you a big fan? Get your
I don't
sheets
watch.
again.
I don't watch Let's Plays. They're all gay.
No,
That's true.
that's how to play for Dagger Art
Oh.
specifically.
Oh,
Yeah.
Likely also gay though.
Yeah, we did heterosexual live play. I got to say, yeah. So
At least
just want
at
to
least
put that on
half
the
the
record.
time they're heterosexual.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Another big winner was the
Flip the
Crook
coin.
Moon. So outside of like the best cover art that we discussed, they also like got best production value, product of the year, best aid non-digital for their tarot deck, and best aid digital for their VTT. And Legend of the Mist also got a bunch of were running up in a bunch of categories. So those are game, like I would say, like game the Crook Moon I never heard of. Legend of the Mist, well, except for when we're looking for the nominee for the award, I never heard of those, but apparently they want a bunch of stuff. So maybe something to keep an eye open for in the future.
if people are
Crook Moon
making
and
niche
Legend of the
games
Mist.
like you're talking about, like tarot cards and whatnot, it might not be for me, but I actually like it that people are doing things like that. I'd much, much, much rather hear about something like that, even if I'm not interested in it, than look, it's my next D&D clone, or it's my next Traveler clone, or it's my next big thing. I'm gonna take down Call of Cthulhu or something like that. It's like no, you're not.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Had this
I like when people
conversation-
like try new stuff. Yeah, like when people like take some risk and experiment with some stuff.
Yeah. I had this conversation where it was like we were talking about minis,
Yeah.
how if they're good or not for the table. And
Yeah.
I think it's just like when you're talking about, for us, it's immersion. So when you're talking about immersion, it's like anything, any component of the game is potentially like immersion breaking. So it's like if you're just reinventing how dice work, is that any more or less immersive than dice in general? I don't know. You know what I mean?
You could have like a I don't know what they're doing the tarot deck. If it's a player aid, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they give you like a thing for your class power, but they're in the form of tarot card and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit more immersive than just having a straight up player aid.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess it does depend on how you're using it. Like, what is the purpose of it in the game? I absolutely can agree with that. Like, we had the Taroka deck in the old Ravenloft game that you could use, you could incorporate with through the Vistani and so forth, and that was fun to add in there and kind of give some immersion into the setting.
Yeah.
So,
I'm noticing a lot of these gimmicks, because that's what they are, right? They're very much I think the best ones are the ones that play into like the tone and flavor of the system.
Yeah.
Like, so I think if you do that, I think it's good.
I think it's
I don't know if
a
it's
risky thing. I think it's a
It's
risky
risky.
thing. Yeah. I think
I'm
there's a
more
lot of way
interested,
to
though,
to
if
mess
it's
it up.
flavor.
Mess it up.
well, like Phil said, I think a lot of that stuff is gimmicky, and it's fun one time, and then you're like, okay, can we go back to playing, like normal people again? But there are other
Yeah.
things. I mean, just as an example on our show, Heathen Dog and I have a big disagreement on. I'm a huge fan of specialty dice. I love specialty dice. I think they usually add something fun to the game. My one caveat is I only like specialty dice that can also be mimicked by real dice, so you don't have to go get them. It's just maybe better or easier, whatever, if you do, for whatever reason.
Mhm.
But
So, like-
he hates specialty dice.
So like Genesis dice. Or
Yeah,
like
well, I
the-
mean, I've actually never done Genesis dice, but that is something I've always wanted to. I
Yeah.
wanted to give it a try. But even like
Those
the free league dice or
They seem pretty hard to mimic without like the specialty dice. The
Well,
Genesis.
you'd have
so
to have a
this-
chart.
yeah. So because the Star Wars game, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly,
that's
was
what I'm talking
basically the Genesis dice, and they don't make those dice anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to kind of compare to a table in the book, which is again a bit annoying. But as long as you can mimic them with
Yeah.
real dice, I'm in. I tend to like specialty dice. But I like
I
dice
agree.
at the table. So
I think I agree with, because I like it when the dice guide the plot. And so it's like if there's more information on the dice, I feel like it's like more informing what your reaction should be to the dice.
exactly.
So I agree totally, actually.
So my ear trumpet says like Fate Fudge says. I hate Fate as a game, but I love the dice concept. I really, really do.
I hate the people doing Fate, making Fate.
Yeah, well, that too.
Do they owe you money at Fate?
No, they don't. France, 42,000. You might as well do it now if you like. If you want to
Okay.
say like put in chat where people can go look on Facebook to find your mini you post for Rift. You might as well do it.
Boom. Enjoy.
I'll put it on screen for you because I feel nice. What else I have? Oh, D&D icons. We talked about them, right? That's the program run by Joe Manganiello.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Nailed it.
that's how I'm gonna say his name. You heard about that, Max, right?
Vaguely,
The
yeah.
D&D icon.
I intentionally do not follow. Like, if
Yeah,
I try to close things that
it's
have
the
me look like
nostalgia
that.
bait program of what's see now, right? Where they
Mhm.
try to bring like a legend and the hobby, right? People like the old name, right? So they have like something with R.A. Salvatore, and they have like the Tracy Hickman.
Yeah, but Salvatore's
Margaret
well,
Wise.
he's a cuck, so no. He cucked for the what do you call the whole drow thing, and he regrets writing some of the stuff he did for the drow because it was problematic. Shut the hell up.
I hope he donates his royalties.
Balls.
I do hear
Balls.
that they're bringing back Dragonlance, but after 5e absolutely gutted what Dragonlance
Yeah.
is, I'm no fan. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm always a fan of Dragonlance. Apparently, in fact, there's a good review that was done on the most recent book. So apparently, there's none of the nonsense in there. So I will be getting that in hardcover. So I look forward to that. By Weiss and Hickman. But
And then they have like they have something with Luke Gygax with the note of his father, like unreleased stuff and stuff
I
like
don't
that,
know.
right? So yeah, I don't care much either. But they won an award at Gen Con.
There's been like
For
a whole one
the-
of them. Like, what are we
What?
giving them? It's been like one
Gaming
of them?
trend, best gaming trend award, right? So yeah, but yeah,
How many
But
times have they
it's-
ran that show? Like
What?
3 times?
Gen Con.
No, the Legends, whatever the fuck. Joe
Icon.
Mangialone's.
No. It's just like that's just an award that can go to anything, right? It's the best gaming trend. So, and apparently now the best gaming trend is like bringing old name and doing nostalgia bait and stuff like that. It's kind of
Okay.
telling, right? They didn't like produce anything yet, but like I don't know. It's
I'm just wondering
the only
what
thing they announced was it's Greyhawk.
I'm just wondering what qualifies it as a trend, because I didn't think it was like a very established show, but I guess it's a trend already.
It's not. It's a trend. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Does more than
It's-
one person have to do something for it to be a trend? It's kind of a weird.
Yeah, I guess.
Do you mean your new show is a trend? It's kind of weird. I don't think it
I don't know.
qualifies. Recount.
Well, take it with Gen Con. Right now, you both have grievance with Gen Con.
You know what? I'll go collect Max's money
thank you.
Yeah.
on his behalf with a
There
stern
you go.
word.
Yeah. Paizo made 1,200 title for Pathfinder and Starfinder available on Drive-Thru RPG.
Mhm.
And for now, they're just as PDF, but apparently the print are gonna come soon. So I think that was interesting.
Well,
for some reason.
After they got kicked in the dick with Diamond, I mean,
Speaking of which, they might get some of the inventory back. They managed to reach a settlement with Diamond, and apparently they might get the remaining inventory back. The details are kind of iffy, and it's still not clear that because like with Diamond they had an exclusivity contract, so they might still be beholden to that. So they might not be allowed to look for a different distributor to bring their book in store until like Diamond is completely like the bankruptcy is over, right? So there's that. There you go. Paizo. Win some, you lose some, right?
What a roller coaster with Paizo.
What a roller coaster with Paizo. That's all the game news I had. Well, but I wanted to cover like a few Kickstarter that I found interesting, I guess,
Okay.
that are making money. Let's be real. That's the only thing that makes me interested.
They're making gay.
Monster of Renwell. I'm gonna go very fast on those because they're not that interesting. That's making 117,000 US dollar.
Ones you picked because they're interesting, not quite that interesting.
They're interesting, not interesting to me. They make a lot of money,
Yeah.
but that's that's a monster book for
you
5e.
lose me the second you use the word or the acronym CR, and it's like I'm out. I'm instantly out
Yeah.
as soon as you mention CR.
it's for high level monsters, CR30 and up, right? From what I understand, there seem to be some subclass, new class, and subclass too. So College of the Sunken Songs, I guess you have a new type of bard. Yeah, Sunken Song Bard, Stone Listener Barbarian, Stone Claw Monk. So if you're into the 5e stuff and you want more of it, well, I guess a lot of people do. I put the link there in the chat. I look at those Kickstarter that make a lot of money mostly to see like what is the vibe of the hobby, right? Where the hobby is going and stuff like that. Apparently, we're not done with 5e yet.
No.
And the other one that was worthy of note to me was the Dark Conspiracy, the Unseen War. That is, it's a horror in the modern age, RPG in the modern age.
I have friends who love Dark Conspiracy, read all the books back in the day and whatnot. I bet you they backed it.
Apparently, from what I saw, like this new edition is using the Traveler rule engine. Well, I'll just say right here, I guess, right? So I don't know if it's the Mongoose Traveler rule or what, or classic one.
Would be
I assume
Mongoose.
it's Mongoose.
Probably
I assume it's Mongoose.
It
It's
is
making
Mongoose.
like
I mean, it literally says Mongoose Publishing up there. I mean, just say, you know.
Oh man, you got like Eagle Eye.
Is it?
Eagle Eye Maxiel.
Yeah, I have an eagle eye. I read the title.
Well, so yeah, there's people excited about it because that's making 100,000 British pound, which is quite a bit of dough. 26 days left, so they're gonna make more money than that. They're doing one thing, like the books are quite expensive if you do the pledge level. Like 60 pound to get the book. What?
I just wanted to see the 121, but you're gonna go through it. Go for it. Or 140.
It's 140. Yeah, it's the Coral book, free screen, fill up mission book. But the one that always interests me is the one that you get the core book printed, and I guess like it's free stream as well. So print and PDF, 60 pound, which it's quite steep, but they cover it's free shipping worldwide. They cover the shipping, so that's something we haven't seen in a while, with good reason.
Yeah,
but it takes some of the cost away, right?
Yeah, that's
fulfilled by drive-through. Shipping is free worldwide. So if you interested in the modern day horror RPG using the Mongoose Traveler rules, you can go back on Backer Kit, The Dark Conspiracy.
That's crazy. Free worldwide shipping is crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the book. Like,
do they limit the region you can buy it in? I mean,
I don't know.
You're gonna see on some of those military channels drone drops instead of bombs. It's gonna be gaming books to the middle of Ukraine.
Yeah.
So
that's it.
I'm on Karg Island. Can I get my?
There you go.
Can I get my traveler book?
That's all the news I had.
Yeah.
On the docket, right?
Okay.
Where the hobby is going. It's not like it was kind of like light on news this week, but like
can I answer Daryl's question here?
Yeah.
This one? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not going to be, how do I say this? It's not going to be like buying a book from the company that you're used to getting, whether it's a D&D book or Palladium book or a Free League book or whatever. It's not going to be that quality. With that said, I've got a bunch of books printed from them, and yeah, sometimes there's like a sloppy page or whatever in there. It's a bit annoying, but I still like to just have physical copy myself, so I don't cry too much about it. But if you're looking for perfection, no, you don't want to do it. It's not going to be perfect bound and all this other whatnot, but it serves its purpose, so I don't have too much of I haven't had too much of a problem with it.
I had some problem with them. I didn't buy that many books from drive-thru, but I had some that had like some issues. Like the cover was glued on properly, so there was like crease in them. One time I got a book that had the wrong book block in them. It's right cover and stuff like that, but it's totally unrelated book inside and stuff like. And for the amount of book I bought from drive-thru, I had like a significant number of issues, but they always made me whole. When I complain, I say, "Look, that's not right." They give me a partial refund or replace the book or stuff like that. Yeah. So there's that. But yeah, and also like
the one that I think of the most is my rule cyclopedia. That one has like one of the pages with all the tables on it is like smeared, and it's like I can't read this. But like my Stars Without Number, that came out as far as I know,
And-
that came out fine.
Because also like it's the people themselves kind of uploading the PDF and stuff like that, and there's maybe less oversight. There's also that sometimes there's a problem you have that come from that, because like people upload like PDF with the resolution too low or with the image not properly rasterized and stuff like that, right? So there's
Just
also
remember,
that.
it's not going to be, you know, production quality in terms of
Yeah.
what you would expect from a major company. But if you're like me and just want a physical copy of a book, it works. Oh yeah, well, what are the actually the D&D books that I've got, like the green ones right there, because I don't want to open up my real ones because they're so old and falling apart. So I have the green ones to fall apart. You know, those came out just fine.
I got my White Wolf 20th edition or 20th anniversary editions from them, and I had no
Yeah.
problems with any of them.
That's one of the things I've kind of argued with Palladium about a little bit. It's like, well, to be fair, they've got a good store now. It's like, man, just on drive-through, let us have print on demand. And Kevin is so concerned about the quality. Like, no,
Yeah.
man, I can't have that quality. I'm like, people should know. I mean, at least that's the way I see it. It's like, I know when I get print on demand from Free League, it's not going to be the same. Like for example, I'd love to print out all the Rifters because I have all the Rifters, and as we've been going through them, it's like these are actually pretty good. I'd love to print out, if not all of them, at least some of them. And like, nope, can't. He won't do it. It's like, "Urgh."
Yeah, they won't have the Palladium peel if you do them to
The
drive.
Palladium
get
peel, that's right.
peel.
I love that Palladium peel.
It's the trademark, right?
Yeah.
Anything else to add on the news?
No.
Then let's
Some
move
good
on.
news. Let's talk about it.
Not this one. This one.
Oh.
Let's talk fun. There you go.
Woo!
That's like now where we talk about the main topic of the night.
Yeah.
And Max, you know, I told you it's kind of a
Mhm.
weird topic that I invited you. I want to talk about like dogmatism in role playing game and stuff like that. And I want to take that conversation in different, a bit of different directions, right? Multiple ones. I want to explore the subject from different angle.
Okay.
But before we go into that, one thing I always ask to ask the guests is, why do they engage with RPG? What rather than some other, like, what did they spend to choose their hobby time in RPG rather than doing something else, right? Like rather than doing like war game or video game or painting mini or something else, right?
I don't
what's the
think
draw?
mine has changed since I started in the hobby. Well, maybe when I started in '83, it's not. But since I was really got involved with things like Turtles and Robotech, and finally later on with AD&D 2E, is the fact that I'm going to use a term that none of us like, but it makes sense for what I'm saying here. I liked creating the stories because I loved reading the novels, but I wanted to create my own story without writing my own story. And that's why one of the things I argue constantly is I love dice, man. I love, like, roll the dice, find out if it succeeds or fails, and it's okay to fail, it's okay to die, it's okay to have whatever, because that's the emergent story that's there. And I still feel the same way to this day. Is like this whole pigs in space thing that I was talking about before. Yeah, I'm going to start them off in training and blah 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 because I kind of make sure that this is going to work out, right? But after that, I don't know what's going to happen. I literally don't know. I don't know what choices they're going to make. I don't know what they're going to want to do. I'm going to have a sector built out for them. I'm actually going to use Stars Without Number for that. I'm going to build a sector, and where they want to go, what they want to do, who knows? So we'll figure that out. And that's the fun for me, is kind of, I get a little weirded out about some of these terms because how people take them, but that collaborative storytelling that comes from the dice.
Immersive,
yes,
emergent. I mean, like
emergent storytelling. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely
yeah.
love it. I love it. And the thing is I could do the same thing twice with a different group of people, and it comes out totally different. That's just, to me, I love that. I love getting the imagination going, because I can't draw a stick figure to save my life, and I don't want to write a book.
And it's interesting because, like, I guess, like, when people that do a lot of the railroading and stuff like that, you're kind of depriving yourself of that. Would you say, like, if you know exactly where the story is going to go and stuff like that, and the group is just there, like, to go to the motion, and you're missing out on that, no?
Yeah, well, again, see, I'm pro Quantum Ogre, so that'll get some people spun up. Like, for example, one of the first things that I talked with folks at work. One of the first things that they're going to come across when they go into when they have their mishap and they're finding themselves out there, is I'm going to have them come across a derelict. And there are many, many, many reasons for this. Now, they don't have to go to it, but they're going to come across it. And the reason is because they're going to find out how far behind. Well, if they choose to go there, they're going to find out how far behind they are in technology. Maybe they'll learn something from there. By the way, there's going to be an alien on the ship. I don't know how the alien's going to react because I don't know where they're going to go and what they're going to do. But this is all going to help them not figure out where they are. But oh crap, we're not in Kansas anymore, right?
Yeah.
So,
but that's part of like getting the ball rolling at some point, right? Like it's not like you have to get something. Like as a GM, you have to get thing in motion to some extent, right? Like I'm very hands off as a GM, but you want to have some premise and something getting thing going.
Yeah. Now, again, like one of the things, and I have to think, I think it's Kevin Sullivan. I think that's who it was. We were covering Dead Rain from Palladium, and I was like, man, you could use this for a lot of different things. Like, I don't run zombie. Dude, I'm so sick of zombies. Like, I never want to hear about The Walking Dead again. It's like vampires from the 90s, man. I don't know. I'm out. It's overdone.
The rest of my question.
But,
I missed the zombie like role-playing games, man. I didn't get to play any zombie role.
Well, Dead Rain actually has some really awesome zombies in there too. But so what I want to do is I want to take that. I'm also using part of Grimm's Whitechester as well. And he came up with this idea. It's like, imagine going to a planet, you scan it, no life forms here, but it's got oxygen atmosphere. It looks like it has a lot of trees. Hey, what if we just kind of like park ourselves here for a moment? Well, there's a reason why I got no life forms.
Yeah.
All undead there. And they wake them up. And now they have to, oh crap. And now they could be in over their heads. Who knows? Whatever. That's definitely something that's going to happen at some point. Now it's going to be one of the planets in that sector. No, it's not going to happen until they go there, but you get the idea. Like there's going to be.
I also have a lot of like trouble writing. Like I don't want to do it. So I totally agree with you with that. Also like with the Quantum Ogre thing, because I'm very much no prep in a way. Like I don't want to have anything prepared for them to encounter. So it's like I'm just reacting to what they're doing. So I often wonder if it's like because I don't know what's behind either door. Doesn't matter which door they open, it's going to be something that I just made up anyways. You know what I mean?
I like to have more prep than that. In pretty much every game that I've ever been in where somebody doesn't prep, whether it's one session or it's an entire campaign, it either gets clown shoes very quickly because things don't relate. And that's something that's important to me. I'm a Hickman Manifesto guy. Things have to relate. Or you could just tell that he's winging it, and it doesn't have that immersion that I'm used to. Now that doesn't mean prep everything. That doesn't mean have everything behind the door written to the nth detail. But like if it is a dungeon, so to speak, yes, I'm gonna know what's generally in the rooms there. I'll have little notes on that stuff. But if I don't think it's important, I'm not going to write it down. And if they can, you guys know that I don't agree fully with the whole 4D thing. I would never let somebody go in there like, I pick up the phone. There's no freaking phone in here. How about next time say, if there's a phone, I pick it up. Then we can have, we can do that. But
when you say you're quantum ogring, if you have the rooms planned out, then like, what do you mean?
So what I'm saying is I almost always have, so when a session ends, I know where they are, and I generally know what it is that they want to do or what I think they're going to do. And so I come up with, okay, what do I want to have exciting in the next? It's not always combat, but and so I'll say, oh, since they're on this planet, say that the undead world, I'm going to have them come across some other survivor. Maybe it'd be fun to have some other survivors who live underground. That's why they didn't, see him or whatever. I'm going to have them come across them. I don't care how. I don't care where the players go. I don't care what they did. It'll be organic, but they're going to come across. So if they go to the woods, this will happen. If they're walking down the highway, this thing will happen. Whatever. I'll have it in a situation that is organic. But if I want them to meet some other survivors, they're going to meet some other survivors. Now, could they say, "Oh crap, we see other survivors. Let's go run the other direction"? They absolutely can do that. I would never take that agency away from them, but they're going to have the encounter, so to speak, which means they can fight it, they can eat it, they can fuck it, they can run away from it, they can, it's their choice as to how they handle it, but it's going to happen.
So you can fuck the Quantum Ogre.
Yeah,
So it's almost like a soft
You
Quantum Ogre, right?
will actually.
Well, if you will, that's a different thing, right? That's the thing, right? If I say like,
Uh,
oh, you're gonna encounter this ogre, and this is how the encounter is gonna go, right? Like
Mhm.
you're gonna try to fight him. No, he won't.
Yes,
Fight him. You're
I
gonna
understand.
fuck him, right? That's
if that's how it goes, like I said, I when I say Quantum Ogre, I'm not to the extent that some people do, where it's like
Yep.
you're going to have this encounter, you're going to do this fight, and you're going,
Yeah.
no.
and it's a combat
What-
encounter, or it's a or
Right. You must find the wizard. Now, if I want you to find the wizard, you're going to find the freaking wizard. Now, if I have to have him on horseback riding out there, he's going to be out there. If he's going to be in the wizard shop where you walk, that's where he's going to be. You're going to find him.
But
How
then if
you
I
react-
refuse to talk to him, or if I react hostile, or if like then you did
then
your
I'll
job.
try to use some sort of trick that gets their attention. Like, hey, let's do Viva la Dirt League for a second. Hey, adventurers! Like, I might, can you stand by? Let's talk for just a moment here. I might have something for you that you might be interested in. Now, if they still say, "Nah, dude, we're out," well, okay,
I think
it can happen.
I think I agree with that.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. It's not too forced.
Yeah.
But the reason I do
I
that
don't
is because then I have something in my head, because the notes that I tend to have written down, people always ask me, or I shouldn't say always, but I get this a lot. Like, hey, especially on members only live streams, what is it you want from us to write down? They always say, we want map design, we want creature design, and we want adventure campaign design. I'm like, I can't give you map design because I use whiteboard. I still have some old Chessex maps that I can use as well, but I don't detail it out like this is exactly 10 feet. In fact, there's a guy out there, won't mention his name, who a few years ago absolutely spurred out on me because I said, I don't give exact measurements in my games. Like, you come to a dungeon room, it looks like it's about 4 or 5 paces across by maybe 10 paces across. What does that mean? It means you're not a freaking ruler. That's what it means. It means if you throw that fireball, it could be dangerous or it might work out. You're gonna get an idea, but you're not a freaking what's
range fighter.
Exactly. Now, there are ways you can do that if you want to, but they all take time and effort. Then you can do it. So,
yeah, exactly. Like, if you want to know the exact measurement, take your turn to measure the fucking room, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It might take more than one turn.
Yeah, well, sure, depending on what it is. Now, if you're in a robot or something that has an actual rangefinder on it, well, then I'll say at your position this far away. But I do recently, when I like run the games at work and so forth, I use whiteboards, and it works out wonderfully for me because it gives enough information that they know what's going on, but it's abstract enough where they're like, hey, I want to get over that hedgerow. That's like right at the edge of your movement rate. Give me a dex check, or give me a saving throw, or give me whatever roll that I think is important. If you make it, you climbed over that hedgerow, you got over it. If not, you just got stopped short. And I like having that you're not quite sure in their moment. Not, you can move exactly 4 squares, and I will move exactly 4 squares every time.
Yeah. And it's preserved like the chaotic nature of like combat and stuff like that, and like adventuring, right? I think it's important. I agree with you on that. Yeah,
because you're not going to measure the room while there's hordes of goblins attacking your ankles.
Time out. I gotta know. Well, it's like, and I say this so often that I think some people
throw
get
the fireball.
Right, but it's like in 3rd edition, and this is why I despise 3rd edition. And really, any game that kind of requires use, for lack of a better term, to use a battle map. It's like, nope, fireball ended right here. That's in that square. I'm in this square. Ha 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 ha. I'm like, nah, I don't play that game.
Yep.
Nope. Like I'm not gonna let the fireball end at the tip of your nose and then you not actually suffer something from that. So.
Yeah,
it's kind of it's kind of like a side note, but I like to think fireball, if you're gonna like point blank it right in front of you for the radius, I feel like it could just like blast out of your hands. I know that's probably not exactly what a fireball does, but I like it. You just like do this and a giant sphere of fire comes out of your hands. I think that's kind of dope.
Yeah. You have Burning Hand for that.
Yeah.
You've prepared the right spell.
Well,
Burning Hands doesn't do as much damage, bro.
No.
So that's one of the things that's kind of funny. We were talking at the beginning of the live stream about the game that I'm writing. One of the things that was holding me back for the longest time was my game needs magic, just for how I've envisioned the world and whatnot. It needs magic, and I couldn't get it to work. I tried everything from using like the hero system and points, and that's how I wanted to convert things over. Like it's just nothing was working, and I let it drop for 6 months. And I had this idea in my head. What if I do X? And I'll get to that in a second. I was like, no, it's not going to work. Thought about it. Nope, it's not going to work. A guy at work I was talking to, very autistic dude, but he's like, I think it will work. Check it out.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. But then I was like, okay, fine. He's now walked away. He doesn't have to know that I'm secretly going, And I actually played it out. Dude, it worked. So the way spells work in my game, anybody's played Earth Dawn, that's what my game is kind of based on. If you haven't, don't worry about it. But you get a spell at, say, like journeyman level. Let's call it Fireball. Okay, so at journeyman level, it's Fireball, but I don't want a full force Fireball. I want Fire Dart.
Yeah.
Okay, it casts faster, and you can have Fire Dart. Fireball casts slower. Fire whatever I forget what the third version of it is when you're a master. That's great. Now you're burning a lot more of those goblins like you were talking about, right?
Mhm.
And then there's Wildfire that Grandmasters can do, and that's where. The good news is it does a lot of damage in a lot of space. The bad news is he can't pick and choose the target. So that's when he says, guys, don't be there. But the thing that I like about the how this worked out is the fact that you have one spell memorized, so to speak, but you have 4 options with it depending on how much oomph you want to put into it.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's more interesting as well. Like I like what I like. We talked about a bit in the beginning of the stream, like the magic and you have to roll for your spell, and you can like put like success into like scaling the spell, so you can roll longer, you can do more roll to make the spell more powerful. So that's kind of what I'm doing, right? So you might actually take 3 turns,
exactly,
boost your fireball, right, and then release it, and then like it's a monster.
Yep, that's the same concept, and I want to leave enough framework in there where so I have Fire Dart, Fireball, whatever that last one or the third one was, and then Wildfire. I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, what if you want Burning Hands?
Yep.
Okay, you can manipulate it with your game master's approval. You can manipulate it to say, okay, you know what? Instead of I bind this 3 times to get the Fireball, what if I bind it twice and treat it like a dart, but then just give it a short range area of effect? If your game master says, you know what, that makes sense, that's something you can do, it's almost got a Mage the Ascension type feel to it with that, where you have to be careful with it. The game master has to look at it, make sure this doesn't get out of hand, but absolutely, why not allow the person to, maybe he has to study it, maybe he has to learn how to do that, but once he does, he now has that also in his repertoire.
Yeah, I like
just
those,
one spell.
I like a bit of a free form kind of vibe with some guideline.
Exactly.
I think that's a good way. It's a good way to do magic. Magic is supposed to be like kind of also like
creative,
a bit creative and mysterious, right?
Now the drawback is if you mishap, my mishaps, I've pulled some from DCC, I've pulled some from Forbidden Lands, I've made up some of my own. You don't want to mishap these spell casting.
Yeah. That's interesting. Like you should because like you were joking yesterday about like the vaporware nature of your game, and I've been accused of that a lot with Bastard Sword, right? Obviously, I've been working a lot on it for a long time, but I would say like, well, it's not vaporware. You can go to the website and look at it. It's all public, right? And I give updates when I have new section coming up. Right, the document get growing, and it's pretty long already. It's nearly like you can like create characters. You don't have all the character option there, and you have the rules to adventuring, you have the rules for combat, you have now rules for magic. It's starting to be a pretty complete game. I don't have bestiary, I don't have like the GM section, and
sure,
there's a lot of options, but
I think it sounds like you and I are in very similar positions here. The main thing that I need to do to get it play testable is people are arguing about the skill section, and I'm not going to bore the folks here, but long story short, I basically say, you're the game master, you figure out how you want to do skills. And it's because you might have a group of 4 people, you might have a group of 8 people. If you have 4 people, you probably want your skills more generic. If you have 8 people, you probably want them a little more specific. That's why I did that. But really, all I have to do is I have to get the life paths converted over from the old 6x9 format that I was writing in to the 8.5x11 format that I'm doing now, and all those tables suck. like converting them over and trying to get them resized and all that crap. So once that's over, And then there's one other thing, I forget what it is. There's some life paths that aren't done yet, but I don't care. It will be fully
Yeah.
play testable once I get the skill section done and I get that over, because the wealth section is now finished. I think that was the only other thing I had to work on. So
Yeah.
really, my game
have
is
that
not
too.
it's not complete, but it's play testable.
Yeah, I have that too. Like I have like a, and it's gonna be play tested soon too. With mine, like I gotta say, I'm saying
Good.
that for Phil.
Have
Like
you
once
completed
we're like
the goblin
no.
asking for a friend?
Yeah, sure, I should do that. Although I don't recommend like mixed group. So if you want a
Yeah.
goblin, I need to have like either everybody play goblins or we do like,
That's
goblins
fine.
and orc. Yeah,
I'll play test human if I must.
yeah. Thank you.
Everybody in my game is human.
Yeah, I like it. Well, that's the thing. Like
It's
in
good
my
topic.
game, like I cover like I have humans and I have like green skin and I have phase, which are elf, faun, and troll. But I say like I suggest that if you either do a human group or fey group or a green skin group, right? They don't mix super well. You can, but you have to have like a reason for it. Anyway,
I will only do a green skin group if I can scream "Wah!" all the time.
yeah.
You're out.
Oh,
You know, I like the
You're allowed to
GMI
scream in
show a lot that you do. The Game Master Inside show a lot that you do. I think it's a good idea for a show. I like the concept of like bringing people with different views on gaming and stuff like
that's
that,
the hard part.
and sharing notes on. Yeah, we'll talk about that, and sharing note about like how they do things differently and stuff like that. And I wish people would dare to show up and talk about their idea. But what I want to ask you now is like, how useful do you think theory crafting is when it comes to RPG? Like, how much?
No, that's a really good question. I don't think it's as useful as people. Well, no, let me rephrase that. I think theory crafting is absolutely wonderfully useful, but I think it's overdone. So one of the things that, and this is what I really try to stress on GMI, and I don't push you guys on it so much once the live stream starts, but I know you know this, like when I send out the well, they're not questions anymore, but when I send out the topics and whatnot, one of the things I say is, this is how I want stuff answered. What you do, how you do it, why you do it that way, or what you did, how you did it, and what the result was. That's what's important for me and for a lot of folks out there. It's great that you say that you like, let's talk, you guys, you like 4D role playing, you think it's superior, blah, blah, blah. How about this? Give me some results. And it's not, to be fair, it's not me, it's for the folks out there. Instead of just saying we like it because, we do these things, we think it's better. Like, okay, show some act. That might be a little difficult on the role playing side, but you get what I'm saying. Like, show me the results.
We have lots of actual plays.
Yes.
Well, again, and I think Let's Plays are dumb.
Well,
even mine, even the ones that I've been in, I think are dumb. But the thing is I think we need more hows and less what and whys. So, but in order to get to the how, you guys have to describe the what and why, and I get that. So I try to get people to do that. And recently, I've been trying to pin people down a little bit more. Like, okay, you've said the what and why, but give me the how. And they're like, and so that either tells me that they're not as convicted as they thought, they haven't done it as much as they act like they have, and they are just theory crafting, or it doesn't work as well as you see what I'm saying. So that's why I'm really more and more starting to push the how of stuff. Great. Get that theory out there because we have to have a baseline, but then tell me how do you do this? If I'm going to implement the stuff that you're doing, and to be fair, Phil has actually been really good about, Crispy was amazing at this as well, is saying like, okay, we're going to say that the phone is on the table, or, as a character, and I'm grabbing the phone, and, co-creation, blah, 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 where I'm sitting there going, no, but but it's good for the person out there listening to go, oh, so that's how they do that. Okay. So that's where theory crafting has its limits. I want more hows and less what and why.
Okay. And that's the reason also why we did like the actual play, right? Because like we were talking a lot of theory on our channel. We did a lot of fucking theory crafting. I have like hours when I was doing like Terror of Your Skin, like hours and hours and hours, right? Theory crafting. But at some point I wanted to show people like, well, you see this work in practice too.
Yeah.
You can watch it do it, right? That's why we decided to do it. But I find it interesting because there's also like one side of theory crafting that is not even related to sometimes to play itself, but sometimes to game design as well, with like the GNS theory or the 3 pillar of role play and stuff like that.
Yeah.
which I think like I have some validity to it, but also like oftentimes people like misinterpret them and try to apply like they might be like game design theory, but people try to apply them to gameplay or to running game, right? And then that's not the right tool for the job. We had a stream the other day talking about that about the triple of role play, right? It's when you design like a class-based game, for example, like you want every class to be able to have something to do in those triple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not when you prepare your game as a GM that you have to touch on those triple. That's not what the tool is for. But people misinterpret that.
I try not to even think about stuff like that, because I think when people start getting too scientific with this, it turns into Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition or an MMO or some crap like that, where that stuff is important. I would rather, this is one of the reasons why I love Palladium so much, because sometimes I think that Kevin, especially, when he was in his younger days, just threw stuff out of his butt, put it on the page and said, there you go play. Now I'm not acting like he didn't have any design at all behind that, but it was more like, this feels right. And I think sometimes that makes a better organic world than, hold on, the math on this is just a little off, I need to tweak it. Who cares?
So is that like when you're designing the game? Sorry, Phil, go ahead.
It's very much a product of the 80s as well, right? So it's just like a badass in a book. It's kind of how I feel like Palladium is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like super organized or like very design focus. It's just like, this is awesome as you look at it.
Kind of. I mean, to be fair, they're working on that as things go forward now.
I mean it as a compliment, because I love that. I love that stuff. I love those books.
Well, see, Palladium, I shouldn't say it this way. I don't want to throw them under the bus on this one, because I shouldn't say that, because I agree. But their expectation for, I'm dodging a little bit here. But look, I'll say it for me. I expect you to read the book, not just be like, oh crap, I don't have it next to me anymore. Like, oh, pick it up. Oh, here a rough draft of the rules that I was writing for the Palladium game, like of the ones I was talking about earlier. Like, okay, I get this section, I'm ready to play. Like, no, I actually expect you to go through this whole thing and at least know where you might not remember exactly what that example is. Mecha hand-to-hand combat. Oh, they can do body block and rams. Okay. But at least know, generally speaking, what's going on in it. And that's kind of the expectation, is you weren't supposed to pick it up, look at 3 pages and say, I'm ready to go. You're supposed to actually read it, understand the lore of it, understand why these character classes fit in, and how you may or may not want to use them. And people don't do that anymore. They act like I only need to read like 5 pages. Just give me the combat rules, or just give me the spell section. I'm good. We're done. It's like, no.
To be honest, with all like this this blight of like a D&D clone, right? Sometimes you just read like the 5-page for the house rules that your game is, right?
And then you find out you're wrong, because you know what, you thought it was just those pages that were the rule, and then you kind of come to find out that there's a couple other tables that change things and so forth. So I'm of the mindset, like, when I run a game, I read the entire core book. Now I might not read it from beginning to end, because it's not necessarily a novel, but I will read the entire core book. Absolutely.
I like to be able to read them like from beginning to end, and for it making sense, that like the new concept or introduced like in a manner. But like
I also write a lot of notes.
Yeah, I do that too.
I just flip through the book and look at
Get
it,
the vibe.
basically look at the art, and then say, this is kind of interesting, I will read this page. And Palladium is great for that.
Oh, really?
Especially for going back to
I'm sure I'm doing it wrong. Like, I'm sure I'm going to play wrong, but like I'm flipping through and go like, oh my god, this guy's so cool. Look at this robot. I wonder what the stats
if you're talking like
it.
the world books, and if you're talking to somebody who's more of a fan of, say, the lore, or like, I'll use this elsewhere, I agree with you. If you're running the game, and let's say we just pick one.
I'm just saying what I do.
Okay, I just picked Rifts Canada for some reason. If I'm going to run Rifts Canada, like Rifts, and then have them in Rifts Canada, I'm going to read this entire book.
Is it like gay American Rifts, or is it like?
Yeah,
it's Rifts with snowballs. I don't know.
So it's
Rifts, it's got a giant squid. So.
Yeah, Canada known for its squid.
That's good. That's a little better, right? Rifts could use a little universal health care, probably.
Yeah. And when you design your game, do you go like with this kind of vibe, kind of approach, like this feel right and stuff like that, or do you don't consider any theory about like, or do you go with the vibe that you're trying to achieve first, or?
You talking to me in this one?
Yes.
I don't
Okay,
design games.
So well, so the way I was writing the most recent, because I've been writing a game for like 7 years now, and it's, been different versions. The way I'm writing the one that's almost done is I love the step system from Earthdawn. It is my favorite die rolling system, bar none. Other people don't like it. That's fine. That's your business. But I like dice. I like different dice. I like using my dice. I also like the way the general world works. And there's a reason why I'm telling you all this stuff. Like, I'm not talking like I love bar save itself, if you know what that is. That's just Kingdom. But I like the way the game integrates into the dice. Like there's a fusion there. It's not like something was tacked on. There's literally a fusion. But what I thought that I could do is I wanted to have a little bit different setting, and I wanted to treat things a little differently. So, for example, to answer your question, is I looked at a lot of the disciplines in Earthdawn and said, if I were to keep this idea but make it more like how I envision it, what would I do? And so things are broken down between apprentice, journeyman, master, grandmaster. All apprentice abilities are either something anybody can do, like a melee weapon attack, or it's something that relies on something else, an if-then statement. If this happens, you can do this, because they're just apprentices. Mm-hmm. Now, to be fair, Earthdawn has some pretty tough powers, even at the apprentice level. And I'm like, no, in mine, it's got to be some sort of either if-then, or it's just a basic ability, and now you empower yours with magic. At the journeyman level, you're now a professional. So what would you expect somebody who's a sword master to be able to do? I don't call it a sword master in my game, but okay, we'll go with it. The duelist to be able to do. What do you expect the witch doctor to be able to do? What do you expect the relic hunter to be able to do as a professional? Then we go to grandmaster. All right, now you're talking some stuff here. Now you are the epitome. Like when somebody says master, you're like, that guy's done some crap. What would that do without making anything previous obsolete? And then grandmasters are just anime characters. If you ever somehow get to grandmaster, just imagine you are an anime character. So that's how I thought about design. I didn't use GNS. I didn't use anything else. I didn't worry about balance. Like, oh, does this ability do this? Now, that doesn't mean I haven't tried to figure that out. I've used everything from playtesters at work to actually ChatGPT to run 1,000 permutations of the Reaver versus the duelist to see what wins. And it came up freaking perfect. If it's a quick fight, the Reaver wins, because that's his damn job, is to crush people. The duelist's job is to make you look stupid. If the fight lasts 3 or less rounds, the Reaver wins. If it lasts 4 rounds, it's 50-50. If it lasts 5 or more rounds, the duelist wins. And I'm like, that's exactly how this was supposed to be. And yes, it's just that quick. By the way, if you've ever played Earthdawn, I've stripped the hit points in half. You're not going to live through these fights for 55 freaking rounds.
Thank God.
Fights are going to be deadly. And so you're either going to make those rolls and you can use the right maneuvers, or you're not. And what's your next character going to be? So that's how I put this together. That's why I had the problems with spells, because I'm not looking for math. I mean, I kind of did that with the hero system, found out it didn't work. I'm looking for something that, why would you want to play a witch doctor, and why would you want to play an elementalist? Well, They have their roles. They have the things that they can do. A witch doctor literally can do no damage, none whatsoever. So that isn't what you're going to play if you're a damage dealer. But you know what he can do? He can affect your entire adventure.
Yeah. Would you say like it's more like catering to people that like character players that would choose a character class based on the narrative feel of the class rather than just like the So
one of the things I also did, my favorite Earthdawn book is actually The Adept's Way, which dives into the character classes even more and says, oh, okay. So I maintain discipline violations. Like every swordmaster in my game, every duelist has to be some sort of showman, some sort. I don't care how you do it. You have to be some sort of showman. Yep. That is a requirement because you're living a life path. But I give 3 options. You got the sword master, which is a swashbuckler. You have the stick master, which is like think of Yoda, really quiet when he goes into the fight, but then he starts bouncing around, acting all freaking crazy. Like, what the hell's going on here? Or like an old Hong Kong flick, or the axe master, which is somebody that is like a pro wrestler that treats it, that has a different vibe to it. Those are not the only 3 concepts you can be. Those are 3 concepts given in the book to get your brain juices flowing. Let's use the Relic Hunter. You can be Laura Croft. You can be the oh my god, the treasure
Indiana Jones.
Well, that's kind of the Laura Croft thing also.
Yeah.
But what's a National Treasure? You can be the National Treasure guy, or you can be Indiana Jones. So
say Nicolas Cage.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. The point being is like, but those are just 3 concepts to get you in the mindset. If you want to go a different route with it, for the Reaver, you could be Solomon Kane, you could be an orc. Like, I just want to beat things up, and I forget what the third one is. But they have reasons for existing. They're not just, I want to crush everything. I want to crush everything because of X. Oh, Judge Dredd, that was the other one.
Oh, is that like, are those like a restriction, like reinforced mechanically? Or are they just like supposed to be like,
So the magical abilities that you get. So the way I do it in mine is at apprentice level, you have 8 that you must take. Now, let me rephrase that. You don't have to take them day 1. You can take them whenever you want. But if you ever want to become journeyman, you must have those 8. And then there are 8 that you must pick 4 of at some point. And you can use whatever synergy. You could pick all 8 if you wanted to. I don't care. So if you have 8 here and 4 here, and they're at the certain rank, we'll just say, then you now qualify to be a journeyman. You've met the requirements to be a journeyman. So it isn't ding, I level. It's I did all this crap and now I qualify for this stuff. Hey, I'm a journeyman because of this. And you get more abilities and so forth because of that. Then the journeyman level, there are 5 you must take. And then there are 8 again, of which you have to choose 4. Or 5 or 6, or however you want to do it. It's your character. But if you ever want to see master, you must pick those 5. If you decide, screw it, I don't want one of them, I don't care if I'm ever a master, you could do that if you want, I guess. But
Oh, that's interesting. You should do like some. Have you considered like doing some stream sometime about like talking about your design journey
when
on
it's
like,
after it's been play tested.
Okay.
I want to wait till. So there's still character classes I haven't finished yet. I only have 1 magic class. That's the witch doctor that's been written up yet. I don't have the cataphract. So the guy, the mounted character. I've been fighting. The one that's been killing me the most is the warrior. So it's warrior and Earth Dawn. But what I want is a character that's a team player and a defender. But what I found is they require too many powers. So I think I have to split them into 2 different character classes. So I want one that's a team player that if you're in formations, he's absolutely the consummate team player. He's that soldier. I think that's what I'm going with too, is the name. That if you're all playing together and you're listening to his orders and you're doing this stuff, you get bonuses and he helps the team. But I also want a defender because I don't have that yet. I have the duelist and I have the Reaver, but I don't have somebody and a bowman. I don't have somebody who defends well. So I want somebody who can play some sort of bodyguard, and his whole job is to be awesome with shields. He can take damage for other people and stuff like that because it is a high magic world.
So you got like a vice president class.
There you go. Yeah. Or the duplicate, the body double class.
James Bowman, the vice president of the United States. All right. Sorry for that. That
I
joke
had to take a drink there. It was,
that joke went flat.
Who's James Bowman?
That's the vice president of the United States.
No.
Yes.
Is that his name?
Yes.
I think it's JD Vance, Mr.
That's not
Max.
his real name.
Oh, okay.
His real name is James Bowman.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
James Bowman. Like, that's a pretty good name. What are you doing?
Yeah, but
he had to have his stage name in. But going back to your original question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Sorry.
Is I don't look at things like GNS theory or follow modern game design or any of that other stuff. I do. This is the world that I want. This is how the rules interact with that world to make that happen. And let's go. Let's make it happen. Like I said, the only kind of balancing I do is just to make sure that it fits those 4 criteria for the apprentice through grandmaster, and that when I do the permutations, the people who play it have fun. When I do the permutations, it makes sense.
So if we're going to talk about GNS theory, then it's fighting and exploration and social. Is that what it is?
I thought there's a fourth one.
That's three pillar. That is a three pillar. The
GNS
is game.
is the simulation.
Yeah.
Simulationist,
That's right.
narrativist, and gamist. Yeah.
And gamist. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
all about like player motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I always thought that was a GMing style, but you're saying it's not. It's
about player. It's player
Three Pillars was
the
the
GNS.
design.
Three Pillars design style is a design tool.
Yeah.
It's not design style. It's a design tool. GNS is player motivation. Like what brings somebody to the table? Is he excited by the mechanics of the game? That being a gamist? Is he excited by having this cool story?
And I was.
Or is he excited by being immersed in that character, which is like the simulationist side in that character in that world? But anyway,
nice.
Yeah. Do you think there's a?
So you're not really using GNS for game design, anyways, right? So that's kind of weird.
You can cater a game more to one type of player than the other.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, look at Pathfinder. That definitely caters to the people who like the battle maps and whatnot.
Yeah, more the gamist.
Definitely gamist side. Yeah.
Oh, gamist. Okay.
Yeah,
gamist would be more like a board game style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is winning,
it's rule. It's rules. They're more interested in the rules and the rules mastery.
Yeah.
Surely a simulationist is going to care about rules.
Yeah.
No, the simulationist is the most misunderstood. The simulationist is the guy that say, "I'll do that because that's what my character would do."
Sounds like me.
Yeah. It is. He's the one that is like you're trying to simulate a real person in the real world.
Did you just say the wannabe?
The wannabe? No.
I thought that's what you said. The wannabe. I was like, what?
No, I said it sounds like me because it's misunderstood.
Oh yeah.
I was playing an emo person. I was role playing as an emo individual.
There you go. You nailed it.
I think the less battle maps, the better.
I was simulating.
Yeah. Talking about that, Max, that's gonna lead to my next question. Do you think there's an essence of RPG that we can reach through intellectual tergiversation by intellectual masturbation? What's this word I'm trying to say? Tergiversation.
Can you type it up and put it on the script? What?
Try to say it again so I can interpret it.
Yeah, tergiversation.
Yeah, that's not a word.
Yeah, it is a word.
Tergiversation.
Conversation and reflection and stuff like that. It is a word. Put that fucking screen.
Yeah, I missed the question as a whole there. So,
do you think there's an essence of RPG that we can reach just by talking about like the game? Like, do you think like there's something like this is what make RPG unique and different, and that you know?
Well, I think that's true of all hobbies, but no, I like talking about the games just as much as I like playing the games. So you know, because everybody's experiences are different, and yes, I can become very puritanical and be like, you're way stupid and I'm not going to do it. But at the same time, I've never flipped over anybody's table. So I think that talking about it, the theory crafting that we were before, or even probably the one thing, and I remember when Heathen Dog and Garthon did an actual video on this many years ago with the Legion Myth Weekly live stream, and man, it was one of the few that got really under people's skin. He's like, nobody cares about your character or your character stories. And people sit there, man, my character did blah 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 blah. You start saying that, I zone out. I absolutely will zone out. Okay, that's not a word any normal. Nobody uses that word.
Evasion of straightforward action or clear-cut statement. Oh, that's a good word. Desertion of a cause, position, party, or faith.
So I guess now I don't know what you're asking.
I want to read it phonetically.
Turg Ferguson. That's what that was. That was Turg Ferguson.
Turg Ferguson.
It's too
Sorry
late
for that. But it's too late. I closed the tab. So, but basically, like it's just like when you meander around a topic and you discuss a lot and stuff like that, right? And
it sounded deeper than that. It sounded like someone abandoning their beliefs in order to win an argument.
That's another like the definition.
Yeah.
No, but I think the meandering is also helpful for getting, as I like to say, getting the brain juices flowing. For you to think about maybe how you could run your game differently, or ideas. Listen, I listen to you guys talk about the 4D stuff a lot. I generally agree. I think you guys go a step too far, but I generally agree with what you're putting out there, and I'd love that.
I don't think you do think that, actually.
What's that?
That you think we go a step too far.
You do.
I think you have a fundamental misunderstanding of 4D, actually.
Well, that might be, but when I talk with Rick, when I talk with Crispy, I said the same thing to them. I'll say the same thing to you. So the part where the player gets to dictate what's in the room, that's the part where I'm like, you cross the mountaintop and you start falling off the other side. You're not going to do that. I'm the game master, and the game master is a necessary part of the game. So outside of that,
on that.
And yet, if I was to say there is a pin on the writing desk, would you have a problem with that?
If you were to say there is a pen,
I pick up the pen off of the writing desk you've described. It didn't say there was a pen on it, though.
If it's specifically described as a writing desk, I probably wouldn't.
It's co-creation.
Yeah,
but again, I
picked up the scissors at the seamstress's room.
Yeah, but I might start doing it. I'm dead serious, because I can be vindictive like this. You want to start fucking with my world? I'd be like, there are none there. Why not? I don't know. There just aren't. Fuck you. It's my world. Now, would I do it over something as petty as a scissors? It depends on the player, but no. I'm very strongly in the camp of this is my world. You're in it.
Yeah.
And so the way it should be done. If there's a scissors, I grab it. Well, yeah, there's a scissors. It's a seamstress office. But it's laying on the floor and not on on her. They don't call it a desk. I forget what it was. My grandma was.
And they're covered in blood.
Yeah, there you go. Something like that.
They're broken.
Yeah.
There's only one pair of scissors. It's the bloody one.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. Right on.
Flame zombies, because I don't trust people.
Yeah,
I always look for the angle that they're trying to do to fuck with me.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. And that's been in my experience in 40 some years of playing, because I played in the military, I played in high school, I played at cons, I played, with the people I had to play with, and most of them have been absolutely fantastic players. But this whole idea that you can vet your table and only have the perfect people is less than 1% of the population, and I'm not catered to 1%.
It's hard to do with an in-person game, that's for damn sure.
Yeah. I don't cater anything I do to a 1% concept, because those are outliers. I go for
ideal.
It absolutely is an ideal, and I think it's a good ideal to aim for. I go for what I want at my table.
I find that rules and typically of 4D can apply to any style of role playing and make it better. Maybe if you just don't like one rule, then don't use that one. But I would say any rule that 4D comes up with, you could take it piecemeal. It would probably improve your game.
Yeah, like I said, I generally think, when Crispy and Rick were 48mm, we're all like, well, you're 3D. I'm like, okay, I'm perfectly happy being 3D, because I think that is the best balance of gameplay versus immersion versus, having.
I feel like I've heard you co-create before. I feel like I've heard it.
What are you talking about?
Watching your live plays.
You probably have. I'm not against every aspect of the thought of co-creation could be wrong. It's just like I said, you guys tend to go too far. At least the way when you describe it to me, it's like, no, I'm not just going to let you say what's available. Again, if it's a mundane, like I'm picking up a pencil off a writing desk, I'm not probably going to worry about that too much, because I'm not going to describe literally everything that's in the room. However, with that said, if you start making assumptions like, hey, I'm going to go to the phone and make a phone call, you don't see a phone. Well, what do you mean? It's an office. There's no phone.
Yeah.
Right. But I
don't know why. You would need to figure out why.
That's something we also often talk. Like, if you want to play that in that style, you need that I trust table, right? Like you need to play with people.
And I do not trust. I'm not heathen dog.
I don't trust the table.
I don't.
Yeah.
I get it, man. I don't trust my tables when I'm playing with some people.
By the way, I'm not nearly as far in that camp as Heathen Dog is. If you watch, but I'm not. And some of this stems back all the way to many, many years ago when I was a player in high school, and we were literally trying to see how can we derail the Dungeon Masters game. I cannot wait. If Von Zark, who's on my Discord, if he were here, we could talk about a time that we intentionally went after one of our friends. And we kept trying to kill his wolf, where the game master had to give it plot armor because he was a ranger and he loved his wolf. And it's our first session. That's all we did the entire session was try to kill his wolf.
I have disliked plenty of GMs and wanted them to suffer.
But when you at some point when you're adult and you have like more and you choose more carefully what you play with, right?
Yeah.
And you can say, well, we all understand what we are here for.
Yeah.
And we all pulling in the same direction, that we want to have the school game, the school immersive world, like the school story that emerged from it. At some point you have to be able to trust it. Takes
no, that
time.
is true. I mean, again, that was high school. I'm now 53. So
it's like a weird nerdy pissing contest you're having. Like, I love that.
You have to heal from your childhood trauma.
But let's look at we're talking Palladium. This is one of the things that I've run across in whether it's D&D or whatever. But I find it funnest in Palladium where people I would never use that class. It's so gimp. And you're like, what are you talking about? That class is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
No, this other one over here from this other weird book is better. And I'm always like, why do you care? Why does it matter that much? And what it almost always comes down to is either the game master's like, I'm going to crush you, or it's because you're penicizing the player next to you. Instead of just saying, okay, you can shoot straighter and you can run faster and you've got 2 more skills than me, but you know what? I've got 5 skills that you don't have at all, so I can do those. Whatever it happens to be. No, you're trying to see like, what can I do better than the player next to me? And that's the type of thing I find weird.
I might add another possibility of why that might happen.
Okay.
It's that your GM is railroading the shit out of you, and this is the only time you can really do anything. Yeah. So you have to make the most powerful character possible so that you have an impact on the story.
That can absolutely happen.
And so it's I hate this GM. I'm going to be the strongest one so that I get to shine.
Some GMs get off on that. I don't, but some GMs get off on that.
No, I agree. And those are probably the GMs that you're trying to derail, right?
And especially like if
this was when I was younger. I don't do that now.
I understand that I'm referring to that time too.
Okay.
Those were
if you have a lot of rails
GMs in your younger days.
If you have a lot of rails, you cannot compensate for like a weaker class by doing like more cool stuff because like you're gonna do what the GM wants you to do anyway, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes
I tend to go with the flow personally. Yes. So let's use Bear's game. I know he doesn't like to call it railroady, but I felt it was more railroady than my taste because we were supposed to go from A to B to C, whatever. Even if we did take some sidetracks on that, that's just not my style as much. But his game was built around that. Would I have personally have done things differently if it was a game we played every week and I knew we were going to be playing for 3, 4, 10, 15 years or whatever? Absolutely. And I would have chewed him out and been like, dude, stop saying this crap about my character. I'm going to think for my character. I'm going to talk for my character. But that wasn't the type of game. And I'm not going to, if I sign up for a game and I know what it's about, I'm not going to be like, okay, now you have to change it to the way I like it. No, it's the game master's game. So this is what it was. And it was still fun, So
we got to get you in one of our games, Max.
What's that?
Yeah.
I think you really enjoy our games. You should come join the dark side.
And one thing I appreciate, like
too much out of character for you guys.
But when you play your character, you don't want to. You try not to talk about like the game mechanic. Yeah, you like when the example you're saying, like, oh, I'm gonna move to there. Like, you don't want to say, oh, for my first action. That's a big thing for us.
But I will stop to ask a question if I'm truly confused and I feel it's necessary.
Just do it in character, motherfucker.
But it's the same complaints we had. It's the whole GM telling you what your character thinks about something. It is like
unless I'm under a fear spell, don't tell me I'm afraid.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, you kind of think this person probably arrived too quickly from the bathroom or some crap like that. I hate hearing stuff.
I can maybe see something like that, but that's a really nuanced idea. My thing is more like this, but I understand why some game masters do that. If I'm at a table with some first level players or first level characters, and they see something really horrific, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." Then I'm gonna start questioning, like, okay, are you really taking this seriously, or are you thinking that your anime characters already and everything's just awesome? So I don't want to railroad them into like, no, you're afraid, but I'd really like them to I get accused of this a lot. Let me put it in another sense. I get accused of this a lot. I've played a lot of characters that avoid fights.
Yeah.
I did it in
Oh, that's
Bear's
great.
game. I did it.
Yeah.
I did it in a Pathfinder, or sorry, a Starfinder game I was in a couple years ago. And they, my God, why don't you ever fight? Because people don't normally want to get in sword fights and gun fights.
I'm a coward, guys.
No, that's the
No,
thing
you
is I
just
wasn't a
wanna
coward.
survive.
I think there's a better way to do this. Maybe
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
let's not fight them and run. Now if
Yeah.
I have to protect somebody, or if I was an objective, or I'm in a military organization or something, that's a different story. But it's like I'm not just being a coward. You guys just want to fight everything that breathes.
I agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I agree with that as well. Like, fight oftentimes is like a failure state, right? Like when the other
I agree
option
with
like didn't succeed.
Yeah.
And like the moment when there's like, there's in a situation where a fight can break out and there's this tension there in the air, right?
Mhm.
And you try to avoid the fight by negotiating, by going around, stuff like that, but it might break out. Like this moment is so rich and it's so interesting to play with, right? I don't know why people like deprive themselves of that. Just say like, oh, there's a monster, let's fight him, right? It's like, well, you're missing most of the juice, right? Most of the aroma of the scene.
I agree.
Sometimes, like,
If you want to
The,
piss me off in a game, is sorry, Phil, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I totally get what you're saying, and you're saying it from like the perspective of a GM. You'll see like a player kind of failing to catch a hint or something like that, and then you said the thing about not fighting, but that's the other side of it, right? The players can't suck either. It's not just the GM that sucks, but it's like you need your players to be able to express fear, express greed, express all these other emotions, or express that they're cold, because it's like I've described the fact that it's been raining icy rain on you for the last hour and you're still walking through like it's freaking summertime.
Yep.
You haven't said anything about it. Like that shit pisses me off too. Like
Yeah, well,
totally unreactive players. It really ruins it for GM.
The other thing.
Then the GM, just real quick, then the GM gets incentivized to be like, you're cold.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you are feeling this, even though you're not saying it. Just to,
But
like,
see, I don't
make
have
it-
a problem with the game master doing that at some point, saying like,
Yeah.
you're obviously not taking the hint, so I have to give you the hint, and I do get to tell you you're cold. Now you don't have to show it, but that's something that could be out of your control. You're cold.
Yeah.
So, but
it's nice when the player does it on their own.
Absolutely. And I've always had players at my table. Once we got away from those, say the adversarial high school group that everybody was fucking with everybody. I always had players at my table that would coach either new players or players that would come in who are used to playing, we'll just say, more of the war gamey style. And the players would coach them. I didn't have to do that much. And this is one of the things that's always blown my mind as I've done the YouTube thing, to find out how much extra work game masters do, exactly like what you're saying, because it was usually my players doing that. They're saying like, hey, don't ask the question, or don't say, can I ask the question? Just ask the question. So, and I think that works better, because when it comes from the player, it doesn't look like, oh God, I did something wrong because the boss at the table or whatever, like it's just one of the other players saying that, and be like, awesome. But this is one thing that will piss me off. I will occasionally have moments in my game, whether it's a sad moment or a serious moment or whatever. I will fade to black. I don't get into those sexual scenes and whatnot, but it'll be some sort of maybe a tender moment, right? And then somebody at the table will be like, hey, I bet you if you boner, blah, 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 or, do some sort of fart joke or whatever. That is a very fast way to learn that you're not going to be welcome at my table much longer. And
Max has tried to rape me twice, I think. No, I might be blowing it up.
But it was all in character, so that's fine.
It was in character, so it was fine.
It was beyond in character. It was all in person.
Well, one time.
Yeah.
But I want the characters to be people. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody can't be a cold-blooded killer. Those people exist in the planet. That doesn't mean that somebody can't be like, you know what? I'm hardened. Okay, fine. But then find something else that makes you human.
Yeah.
That sounds like what Max told me.
Yeah, I'm hardened.
Fateful day.
Yeah.
Where's my birthday present? Happy birthday, Mr. President.
I put my
I invited you.
my favorite blouse for you.
Best class.
Okay, so obviously we have like our strong opinion about gaming, and you do too. Do you think like sometimes we're too set in our ways and we don't like tend to experiment enough? And
Speak for yourself, Max.
I experiment a lot.
Huh?
On a lot of things.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, I don't know that I have convictions on some things. Maybe some things.
Yeah.
As far as like
I
how
have.
to play.
We'll talk about it. Yeah.
Okay.
As long as they're based on experience and what you like,
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with it. You know, I've had multiple people say, you know, Max, your opinions are for you. Yeah, I grew up knowing that all opinions are for me. And the funny thing is the way I talk, basically the way I'm talking now, other than being a little louder because I have a microphone in front of me, this is how I talk everywhere. So when I say shit that's retarded or whatever, I would tell you that to your face and not feel bad about it whatsoever. But again, I've never flipped over anybody's table. I've never kicked anybody out. You're just going to have to be at that table over there because you're not welcome at my table. And you know what? But do you need chairs? What is it you need over there to get you set up? I think that tables are supposed to be different. I have expectations at my table, and no, not everybody's welcome at my table. You know, some of the things that we just recently talked about aren't things that I'm going to tolerate long. I'll give you a couple benefits of the doubt, but at some point there, you know, you got to match my table. So I don't have anybody. If somebody's dogmatic, like I will always use miniatures and mini maps, and we're going to pause the game to take the 15 minutes takes to set it up, and that's what the people at the table like. Do it. Have fun. This is why, you know, this whole idea of as long as you're having fun, it's such a cop-out answer.
Yeah, that's the name of the show.
Whoa.
Well,
Easy.
But it is. It's a cop-out answer because, of course, as long as you're having fun, I don't give a crap.
Mhm.
Now, if you think
as long as you watch, as long as you're having fun, we're good.
Yeah, there you go. But if you think and you want to describe it and you want to tell me all the ways that playing, you know, with miniatures and battle maps is the most perfect way to play, that's great. You can tell me that. I just don't agree with you, and I never will agree with you. And it's based not on one session that I've had. It's based on 40 some years of experience. But that isn't meant to take it away from your style. And if you take it that way, that means you're very, if you're that offended by opinions, that's a you issue, not a me issue.
Because also like the GMI show you're doing, right? It's meant to be like people with different theory of gaming or different different conviction coming and having a conversation about those and sharing and comparing ideas and notes like that. And hopefully that's helpful to somebody at home. But
and
when
I don't agree
like,
with 9/10 of what is said on there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed
when does
to.
like when you go like from having a theory to having a conviction to becoming like dogmatic, to becoming like a
dogmatic is when you do start flipping over tables or telling people they're not welcome to play and whatnot. I am dogmatic about one thing and one thing only, and that's don't change what we already have. Go make your own shit. And if you do change what we already have, I'm gonna light you up in every way I can, whether that's screaming at clouds or I actually make you feel bad about your life, and you know, and you should feel bad. Other than that, do your own thing. Have fun doing it, whether it's miniatures, whether it's beer and pretzels, whether it's 4D, whether it's some combination thereof. I don't care. I'm going to tell you why I don't like it. And yes, you're going to get more don't likes than do likes because that's what, you know, the internet's about. Because if we all agreed on everything, or you know, say I like this, I like that. I mean, like 4D, I like 90% of what you guys do. There's a 10% that I'm just like, yeah, that's you guys probably just have some problems at my table.
Confused, Max.
You know what? Don't knock
me like but I think that's also a big part of it, right? When you stop listening to others.
Yeah. Yep.
I think now you have your dogma and stuff like that you don't want the rush from, and you're no longer open. At some point, like you can have a productive disagreement when we discuss about difference and stuff like that, and you can have like adversarial disagreement where you know you strawman, you refuse to listen, and you just like, you know, I think that's a big difference.
I'm not open-minded about my table. I have rules that people look at me like, I can't believe you ever get people at your table, because I have run very successful tables over the year that people like to play. Now, if you are dogmatic about your style, you're not going to fit in well at my table, because this is my table and this is how I do things. And if you don't like it, go away. This is like we were talking about paid GMs last night.
Yeah.
And I really like the Hat Mouse's answer, by the way. But people talk about, well, I'm a paid GM, so I have to cater. The fuck you do? You're paying for my game. If you're paying me for my game. If you don't want my game, there's the door. And yes, I have these rules that I am going to expect you to do in my game if we're going to have it. And if you lie to me and say, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then you don't, you'll be gone. And if that means the game fails, well, then the game fails, because I'm not going to hold you here like, well, I got to keep them because otherwise we don't have this. No, if I'm not having fun, we're not doing this.
Yeah, and I guess just to talk about paid DMs a little bit more, but there's other people paying here. You know what I mean? Like, you have a responsibility to those other guys. So if you're gonna like drop the ball as a player, probably.
See, the way I see it is you're paying for the experience that I provide as a game master. Now, other people might not see it that way, but that is what you're doing. Now, there are things I do that I try to make sure everybody's involved. Now, that might not be this. I'm sorry, what's up?
Are you a professional DM?
No.
Are you actually?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I would probably feel bad, other than maybe gas money and a slice of pizza or something. I'd probably feel. Although the way people are doing it now, when I start running my Pigs in Space game, which I'm still pleased, I want it to be in person. But if it's not in person and I have to tolerate that,
going back to Gen Con.
What's that?
Yeah.
Got to go back to Gen Con for that.
No,
that's
well,
a campaign.
It's a different discussion. I think we were talking about it a little bit last night. Like, there are literally enough people for me to play games where I work. I work in wargaming. There are enough people there. The problem is they're all still playing with their Discord friends that they were growing up with, instead of like where me, when I joined the military and as soon as I got to a new base, the first thing I did, and you had to be subtle about it because, we would actually be bullied and ostracized for being, Dungeons and Dragons players, is first thing you did is you found the guy who's like reading, the fantasy book, and like, oh, somebody's reading fantasy. Wait, what book is that? Oh, that's interesting. Why do you like fantasy? Blah, blah. Come to find out he's Dungeons and Dragons. Like, yes. Hey, where's the group around here? And then you were happy to find the new players. These people don't even try. They're just like, no, I'm going to stick with my Discord friends. I've known them since 10. And it's like,
yeah. But when you join the military, like, that wasn't an option. So
yeah, but these are people in the military now. Yeah, when I joined, that wasn't. But I don't think it's a good option. I think because it gets that dogma. I think a better option, and I know you guys like to vet players and so forth, but I think the better option is when you get somewhere is to play with other players to get that experience of how other people do shit.
So, but that means you have to put more water in your wine, right? So you have to make compromise for the people that that are there, right?
Yeah, which is why I 100% agree with you guys when you say you have to vet your table in order to have a really, really awesome 4D play. And that's not something. I mean, I do vet my table, but not to the extent that you guys do.
It's a different skill, like to get a solid game going in person for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for something that's going to last. I'm not looking for, hey, we're going to do this for a few weeks, then we're going to try something. No, I want to sit at a table that when you tell me that unless somebody dies or some crap, we're doing this for 5 years, 10 years or whatever. Like when I like my Pigs in Space campaign, I use that word apparently differently than some folks. I have the beginning decided, and then I have what's going to happen to launch them out there. Outside of that, I don't know. And if that means I have to make another sector at some point, then I'll make another sector at some point. If I want this to continue to go on, if all of a sudden they decide to go mercantile or combat, or they make alliances, or I don't know what they're going to do, I'm going to roll those punches. But if they solve issue X, let's say they find the way back home, we can make it back to Earth. They choose to take it. I can still run the game. Oh, because when you came back to Earth, somebody followed you. And now, you've got to protect the planet. Or maybe they're like, fuck it, we can go back to Earth, but what fun is that? This shit's way more fun out here. Let's stay out here. Right. More things I can do. The campaign doesn't have to end just because you solved one thing. You know what I'm saying?
The quantum sector.
The quantum sector.
Exactly, right.
Space is vast. Let's be honest. Like let's just move over to the next sector, whatever. The point that I'm making is a lot of times people are like, well, I have this campaign. I'm running, Lost Mines of Phandelver. Okay, what are you doing after that? What are our characters doing after that? Oh, that's when it's over. I'm like,
I killed them.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Until we all just kind of fade away, I don't want it to stop. Which is why I don't do things like that. What's that?
TPK or.
That doesn't have to end anything. That's just part of the story. Like, the party of adventurers that you heard about, they never made it back. Do you guys care? Do you want to go follow them? Do you want to build up more and then become them? Do you want to just say, screw that? If they died over there, we're going over here. I don't care. I don't care. But that doesn't have to end the world. The world continues to go, and that's what's more important to me.
I would say that the military is probably the easiest place I ever was able to get a role-playing game going.
Oh yeah,
Like everyone's just trapped. They're like,
especially on a boat, I guess.
yeah.
Well, that's fair. Yeah, I was Air Force, so you know.
Oh yeah, you get to go home.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But there's so many excuses that people have now over this stuff, like, oh, we're all adults, we got this. Look, dude, the people at my table had kids, had families, had jobs, worked more than 40 hours a week, all this stuff. You know what they did? They made compromises. My favorite one to talk about is my friend who's we played at that time, we played on Saturdays. So on Saturdays, he got to play games. On Sundays, he took care of the kid, and she got to have girls' day, or Friday nights if they wanted to do it then. And she got to have girls' night. There's this compromise in there that they did. Yeah, he had to take care of the kids on either Friday night or Sunday. He got Saturday. What is wrong with that? What is wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it, I would say.
I would agree with that, but like I'm not married, so
it's hard to get. I know your sessions. I've heard you describe them as being like 8 hours or something.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, I'll do 6 now, but I won't do less than that. The caveat is this: I've found that online play is somehow more draining than in-person play.
I agree.
And I don't know why or how. I don't know the psychology behind that, but I do find that 4 hours is about my limit. But my problem is there's so much I want to do in this campaign, and maybe there are some lulls in there. Like I don't spend hours on you buying rope or whatever, but there's some maintenance that you do with the character sheet, and there's some minor things that people do that are going to take a little bit of time. And I don't want to end on that crap. I want to move along, and I want to explore more of the world. And that's why I like the 8-hour session. I'll do 6 if I have to, but then you better be fucking dialed in and ready to go, because I actually can run a game for that long and not get lost.
The in-person game, it is like way easier to go longer. I don't know why either.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
You know what I think it is? It's the talking over. Because it's totally fine to like talk over people when you're in person. It's like kind of, well, I mean, because you can have side conversations, but you can't like do that really.
Yeah, there might be some truth to that. I don't shut it down, but I do discourage side conversations. Some of the rules I have at my table is get your books off the table, you get your character sheet, and that's it. Now I will let somebody pick up a player's handbook if they quickly look something up when it's not his turn, but you're not. The table is for if I have a whiteboard or a map, and it's for us to focus on role playing. I don't want books scattered all over the place. Should have done that before. You should know your character beforehand. What else? And this is because of my friend Bob. He used to bring a Game Boy to his table, and when it wasn't his turn, he'd be on his Game Boy. So no, there are no cell phones at my table. And don't give me this crap. Well, I got to be in contact with my kids. Then you should probably be hanging out with your kids and not playing my game.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like,
be a good parent,
right?
Probably should be.
What?
Probably should be hanging out with your kid.
But I mean, that's the thing. People always have these excuses. Oh, I have to make sure my wife didn't send me a message. Why the fuck is your wife should know you're here? If you want to say, "Hey, honey, I made it there," like I'm not texting my wife, so please don't murder me.
Doom scrolling, everyone knows it.
Right? Like don't murder me, because she's not going to find out for 8 hours now, or whatever. But
my wife might be getting murdered. You're like doom scrolling. I can't give my phone away.
Yeah, it's just the last game I was in Germany. One of the girls at the table kept scrolling. Hey, look at this video, and I'm like, I'm not my turn, but
like those are people are not to be invited at your table.
It wasn't my game. I was a player.
You're not welcome anymore, right? Yeah.
And people are like, I could never be in your game with all these rules you've got. I'm like,
that's fine.
That's funny how I've never had a problem getting people. Now, to be fair, I haven't actually had a full table in a while. So we'll see if things are changed, especially with online or whatever. But I've never had a problem. Never had a problem, because when people see how the game plays, it's probably very similar to how you guys are with the 4D stuff. Once people get involved in it, they see how it plays, all those rules you have, like, wow, this is actually really freaking fun. Keep stuff on track. So I can understand that the people have done the same for me.
Rules of play, they're good to have.
Yep.
They're good to have. Yeah. You
No, is that
mentioned earlier,
dogmatic?
like
I don't know.
you mentioned earlier that it's okay to have conviction if they're based on experience. I wanted to ask you that. Do you think that like you can understand a philosophy of play without experiencing it at the table? Do you think like when people like say like, oh, you should do that way? You think you can like do you think you
Give
have
me an
to,
example of philosophy of play so I understand what how you're using that.
well, like when we say like somebody would say like, oh no, miniature is so much better for combat, and you never play with miniature, and you say no, I don't want to do it. Do you think it's valid to reject it if you never tried it? Or if you do
No,
the
because
4D
I've actually
stuff,
learned that it's the people with the least experience that have the most
Yeah.
interesting ideas. Not the best, but the most interesting ideas because they're not stuck with the limitations. I have
Mhm.
played many games. A lot of people don't know this, but third edition is actually probably the game I played the second most. So AD&D second edition, AD&D or D&D third edition, and Earthdawn are probably the games that I've played the most. You know, and then Palladium probably after that. But I don't talk about it because I don't enjoy it, and that's what it was. It
Yeah.
was like do our little thing, or have some role playing, and then here comes the map, and here comes the miniatures, and I'm like, oh Lord, okay, yeah, fine. Oh look, I took my 5-foot move, and so now I don't have to have an attack of opportunity. I'm like, how is any of this organic? It's not. It doesn't feel organic. So
Mhm.
I think anybody can have a philosophy of play, but like I do even with my job, is I'll say, okay, tell me why, whatever. Now here are the reasons why that doesn't work. Now, if you still think it does work, let's give it a try. You know, but what is the
You like
experience?
you have reservation, but you express your reservation toward the philosophy, but then you're willing to try it. That what you're
I'm
saying?
probably not willing to try it today. It depends on what, honestly, it depends what it is.
Okay.
But I'm probably not so open-minded, but that's because I know where my strengths are. I know where my weaknesses are, and I'm not going to do something that's going to exacerbate my weaknesses. And I want to do more things that handle my strengths. Now you can say, well, you should work on your weaknesses. It's a game, dude. I will try to do that. Absolutely. But at the same time, it's a game, and I'm not going to go through like boot camp to try to figure out, how to handle, like, for
That's
me,
a
one
one-shot
thing that they meme on me constantly is that I'm horrible with names. I'm
Right.
horrible. I'm absolutely horrible. Hey, what's the name of the vendor? Fuck you. I hate you now.
Yeah.
Because I won't do Bob and Jim and so forth, where some game masters
Kevin.
don't care. That would just ruin my immersion to do that. So I'm like, like I have charts and so forth that'll roll on that help me, but it's something that I'm absolutely. If you want to see me lock up faster than anything else, say, hey, what's the name of that NPC?
Telemachus. So at the start of the Let's Talk Fun, you said that the reason you like role playing the most is because it has emergent storytelling.
Mhm.
So are your rules at your table, do they facilitate getting to the story, or would you say that they are facilitating some other goal or some other benefit of role playing? Or what's the purpose of like the
Okay.
no phone? Or I
Oh,
mean, I
yeah,
know it, but like, does that really help the story? Probably. I'm just curious what you think.
it keeps people. So I believe in immersion, and I know it's weird because in the last 5 years I've seen about 10
Same.
people take credit for the term immersion. I'll tell you that right now I heard it first from Garthon, who was in a couple of my campaigns and who ran a couple back in the 90s. So it's been something that we've been talking about for a long time. If you're playing on your Game Boy, if you're looking at cat videos, you're not immersed in what's going on. So that tells me one of two things: either you're a bad player or I'm a bad game master. Both could be true. And so I have to look at this. Is there something I'm doing wrong that doesn't have them excited about what's happening?
Yeah.
Is this combat too boring? Am I only focusing on one person instead of the other ones, or something like that? And look, I'm not against that stuff. There's be sometimes, but hey, Phil, you got about a half hour. If you want to go head out and get something to eat or whatever, I'm going to be focusing on this just so I can get it done and over with. I'll tell the table that. Or if you want to listen, but your character's not there, so it might be funner if you didn't listen. That's up to them. But it's about being immersed in the world. I expect you to be immersed in the world that I'm presenting. Now, the second part of that is, I think, is at the end of the Dungeon Master's Guide for First Edition, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's a Player's Handbook, something like that, where Gary Gygax says it's game first, campaign second, players third. I disagree with that. I believe it's setting, or if you want to use the word campaign first, setting comes first. If I change a rule, a game rule, it is to represent my setting better. So the setting and the world come first, the game comes second, the players come third.
I totally agree with that, man. That's totally what we think. So like immersion is also the purpose of our rules is to facilitate immersion. And it's the way I would differentiate that from what you said, it's not about creating the story, it's about experiencing the story, and then you can kind of like look back and see the story.
Well, sure, yeah. So that's what immersion storytelling is. It's that. So I mean, sure, if I'm not using the proper pedantic term, but I think we're on the same page on that one. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We're on the same page. And I would also say that crap, I forgot your other point, but
I probably forgot my other point.
I forgot your other point.
Well, it's immersion. It's just being invested in the table.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's disrespectful if you start, reading the newspaper, hiding behind it when it's not your turn, when everybody else is there. And yes,
also like slow down the game so much because then you have to ask questions because you didn't follow up what was happening, and you're like.
Well, here's something that I've come across, and it's not so much a gaming thing. This is actually a generational thing. I believe in things like etiquette, decorum, proper behavior. And a lot of times, like this happened about 2 years ago, maybe now. I was having a conversation with some folks at work about like some expectations and so forth. Like, dude, that's grandma's shit. Really? That you have expectations? Like, that's grandma's shit. They kept saying that. That's grandma's shit. And I'm just like, what the hell are we teaching people nowadays? No, you don't get to act the fool. No, you don't get to do this. Yes, you should dress appropriately. Yes, you should, whatever, this whole decorum thing. And
that's why I'm just like your grandma.
Max is on his grandma shit arc.
but there's a different culture at the table, like whether it's a gaming table or dinner table or whatever. People just act differently, and I'm like, no, you can call me an old curmudgeon or whatever, but I'm not going to tolerate this shit.
I remember the other thing I was going to say. Okay. The fact that you will make sure that your world is catered to. That's also very much what we talk about, where like the verisimilitude of the world is kind of like peak goal for immersion, and then you have what was it, game next, and then players. Is that right?
For me, yeah, it's setting game players.
Yeah. So
and by game, I mean the game rules.
The rules, yeah. So you make sure you're following the rules to get like good outcomes, and it's like fair. And then the players at the end, making sure that they're immersed. I totally agree with that.
The terms I use for a game master are reasonable, consistent, and fair. Game master has to be reasonable to adjudicate things properly, has to be consistent so that the players can kind of know what to expect. So if you do it for one player, you do it for another player. If you do it for one player, you do it for an NPC as well. And then reasonable, consistent, fair. And then fair, it's like maybe that falls under reasonable for some people, but if you're not fair, like, so I push back at the folks that say you have to roll in the open. If you want to do that, do that. That's your thing. You're not gonna. I'm not gonna be like, you're such a better game master than me because you roll in the open. If you want to talk trust, I look at it this way. I'm rolling behind a screen. If you don't trust me, get the fuck out.
Yeah, for sure. Trust that.
Yeah, I don't care about like that either way. Like roll in the open, roll in the back. I don't even look at I don't even have to look at my player role when I'm GMing because
I do, but I also I played with people that would actually put lead in their dice.
Yeah.
So that they would like
he's playing with a bunch of hooligans.
Yeah,
man. Like
so he's hiding things. He's making sure he's double checking the work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it all comes from experience.
I'm not interested with playing with people. I'm not interested with playing with people that would have to put myself in that kind of situation, right? In that kind of
most
mindset.
of them wouldn't do it now, but I've also found that some things facilitate play, believe it or not, at least in my experience. Like I use like little backgammon cups. You have to roll in that because I know people who know how to literally put dice down and get them to shape what they want. They actually are dice. They're dice sharks. Now they can't do it with a 20 so well, but they can certainly do it with 6s, and I've even seen them do it with 8s. But and you have to roll in the tray as well. But here's what I found out: it adds a bit of excitement. Now, some people are like, whatever, it's dice rolling. I have found, and this is why I harp on this for me personally, is I love dice rolling. Now, don't sit here and shake it for 45 fucking minutes.
Yeah, blow
But-
on them.
It's like, okay, are you gonna do it? So like when I game master, one of the reasons I don't like doing it online is because I walk around and I'll stand, not hover over you like some creep, but I'll be like,
Yeah.
all right, Phil, let's see what you got here. Go ahead and roll that thing and get it out there. And then you roll the die and it comes out of the dice and it comes out with whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
did you get it? Yes. All right, you got it. So this blah blah blah
High
happened. Right?
fives.
Bro, you
We're
brought your
high-fiving
players
around the
there.
table.
Yeah, absolutely. But I
God.
found that when
Oh,
people
Uncle
watch
Max.
when people watch that though, the players, that helps immerse them. Even if that's just the game aspect, it helps immerse them in at least what's going on, sort of conceptually.
Mm. It kind of reminded me, the thing I was about to talk about with like verisimilitude kind of reminded me, Mr. Max, of the pillars you started creating. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
like tell me what those were again? Because I kind of forgot the three. I know one of
forgot
them was
too.
verisimilitude.
Like one of them was conflict. One of them was
Conflict.
like conflict, exploration, verisimilitude. That's what they
Okay.
were. My three pillar
they
of
all
like it's like
facilitate.
not combat, it's conflict. You need conflict.
Yeah.
You need immersion and you need verisimilitude, so you
Yeah.
can be immersed.
I agree
Okay.
with that.
Just play 4D, Max.
Yeah, we will have you over.
You're in.
Max, when you do the GMI show and stuff like that,
Mhm.
do you get a lot of comments about people like saying like, oh, you know what, I really like that idea, like I never thought of it before, I'm gonna try that in my next game, or people mostly looking to have their bias confirmed?
It's weird. I don't get a lot of comments like that either way at all. Most of the comments I get are, dude, this show is awesome, or
Yeah.
why did you have why'd you have that
Bear.
asshole back on?
Bear.
Well, no, it's actually not. It's not.
I'm not
I
kidding.
used to in the past. The funny thing is, in the past, I'd get a lot about Bear, but I don't anymore. It's more about like, oh my God, your show is great. This is what we need. I very rarely get even though I ask for it, like, hey, did you learn something here that you might try or whatever? I never get that stuff. The other thing I'll get comments that are like, in my games, I did this, or I had this session where blah blah blah, and and the person will talk about like an experience that he had, but I never hear about like your guys' opinions. It's either about you, about good or bad, or it's just anecdotal about how this show is great. Like, okay, well, thanks. You tell me what's great. Now, behind the scenes, I will get a little bit more, and that's why you've seen some of the changes that have come. Because I'll talk to folks, or they'll say something like the big one for quite a while up until like the middle of last year is, Max, shut up and let them talk. And then I shut up and let you guys talk, and you know what they did? Max, we're here to listen to you.
Can please everybody, eh? Yeah.
Just gotta
So
make the show you want, man.
Yeah, exactly. You feel like you try to make a lot of the show, like, and even like that's also with your show on Sunday, right? You always try to make the show useful for new people.
Yeah.
But I get the feeling, new people to the hobby or new people to a game, stuff like that. But I often get the feeling that we're always preaching to the choir, right? Like these people, like we're gonna talk about, oh, if you're new to the hobby, if you want, or if something doesn't work, but then we talk to people that have been in the hobby for decades, and that they know basically what we're gonna tell them.
You
right?
can do that. Like, so when I say you're talking to somebody new,
Mhm.
you can
Yeah.
also take it as you're talking to somebody who's now exposed to a new idea. You can think of it however you want. The point is what ends up happening is that people be like, well, you know how I feel about this, Max. And it's like, but it's not about me. It's like that. That's the thing. Like I don't even watch shows like this because I just don't. You're not informing me of anything I give a crap about. Okay. The idea is to inform folks out there who might be looking for, what can I do something outside of miniature combat? Or how can I do more immersive combat, even with miniatures or whatever? That's what it's more about. So yeah, the Sunday show, we're tweaking that right now to kind of go in a little different directions. Our last gasp before 2027, so to speak, where I'm kind of we're not doing really any more read throughs other than maybe like the rifters, because while I like doing them, they're just not even like the 5 people like, dude, I love the read throughs. I love you exposing me to these new games and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You're 5 people. I need 5,000 people. I need 5 million people. Right. So I'm sorry, but I got to do the stuff. Go look at Tenkar. Tenkar absolutely turned his show around. The evil Dungeon Master is doing that now, or game. I can't remember. He goes by Dungeon Master, Game Master. He's doing it as well. They're absolutely flipping their channels around because they decided to say, I'm going to cater to the how. I'm going to cater. I'm going to say, this is what's up. This is what's wrong. This is what's good. And this is how you do it. Boom. And their channels Tenkar is absolutely blowing the F up, because he's done that. So that's kind of like what we're doing as well. And I'm sorry if you guys love the fact that we do, these, but as far as the new people go, it's not just new people, but I say that because I want you to imagine you're talking to somebody who needs to hear this on a basic level, who needs to hear this conceptually.
I've always kind of seen that part as being like, because like you said, Mr. Max, probably the audience is mostly like really experienced in their ways, but it's about like, what would you say to someone who's new to the hobby that you want to?
Yeah.
So like giving advice to people to recruit into their game, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I saw it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, Crispy had a really good one when he was on One Time on vetting that I thought was absolutely fantastic. Like, this is how you vet.
Yeah. Well, Crispy is the best of us.
He's very stylish.
Yeah.
You won't catch him in a blouse.
Or leopard skin at all.
Yeah. No, not everybody
he
can pull it
secretly
off.
wears the underwear, though, just to be part of the crowd.
He's probably wearing the underwear.
Oh, that's a waste. Is there like some gaming concept or idea that you've been doing like for a very long time, that at some, like for decades, and at some point like you change your mind on it? Maybe there's one now, like you've been so adamant about against online play, you seem to be warming up to the idea now, right? Do it.
Yeah. So here's my fear about, like, obviously I've played games online. They're never my favorite. They've all been good. I'm not gonna lie. Even the one I got kicked out of, they've all been good. But I always feel something's lacking by doing it, and it's not the experience that I like. As far as game mastering, my concern is because I'm such an up and about energetic game master. Sure, I'm talking energetically here, tonight, now, and so forth. I can do that. It's not the same, and I don't know if I'm going to have the same. How do I say this? The same way of energizing and coaching and that's a bad word, but engaging with the players and player characters that I would if I'm standing and walking around. And it's something that I'm very, very nervous about, because if it bombs,
I can tell you you're not.
No,
I can just kind of tell, like, you seem like you're barely contained in your seat almost. Like,
but if I was game mastering, I'd actually want to be up.
No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that your fear is well founded, and it's not going to be as good for you.
But there's trade-off. You lose something for sure.
It's trade-off.
Yeah. But
I will have to
positive.
Give it a try at some point. If for no other reason than to at least say, look, I tried. Okay. I still don't like it. But I also don't want to do it with a one shot, because I just, to be fair, when I run one shots, I'm usually doing one of two things. I want to show you this game I really love, and I want you to love it too. Usually, though, if I'm doing a one shot, it's because I'm trying to poach players. Like, hey, do you like my style? What or whatever? Would you want to play in more of this? Now, I would never do it in a manner that would hurt somebody else's game. But let's say he's running a game on Wednesday nights. Hey, let's play one on Friday nights, or whatever happens if you've got the time.
Well, I'm trying to poach you.
That's what I'm trying to do right now.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. In
Play one shot with us.
2027, I'm going to join one game. I haven't decided what it is yet. Bear is working on me the hardest, but I am going to join one game because again, Legion of Myth is going to be mostly.
Well, we do a lot of like a short camp, like there's sometimes like done one shot, like 3 sessions, stuff like that. So sometimes there's low commitment for us.
We'll have to send you a fruit basket or some sort of some chocolate covered almonds.
Playing in one game.
Yeah. You send me those chocolate covered coffee beans. I need more energy.
Espresso beans. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Then you'll definitely want to get up. So
right.
Problem.
I have a funny feeling
that's
though,
a
my
big one.
Pigs in Space game, and I'm kind of getting resigned to this fact. As much as I'm trying to get an in-person group, I have a funny feeling that is unfortunately going to be online, which is, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And I know some people are probably, yes, fine. Like, I'm going to have one hell of a session 0 with you. I don't know how many people are really going to want to sit in my game.
That's the right attitude. Like if you do online, the advantage of doing online is that you can like do extreme vetting.
Bet the shit out of people.
Do fucking extreme vetting. Otherwise, like, there's no point if you take the first come first serve, right? Like, no, that's
because it's a trade-off.
Wrong idea.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that is the benefit.
My games are commitments, and that's the one thing that I'm going to drill into folks. I will, if I have to, I will copy chapter 12 out of Alexander Macree's Arbiter of World books and say all your dumb excuses are just that. They're not really excuses. They could be real, but they're prioritizations. You are going to prioritize my game, or there you go.
You see, that's why I wouldn't apply to your game. That's the main thing for me, right? Like you ask too much of a commitment for me.
That's fair. And you know what? Then you know what? If you don't join because of that, I'm totally okay with that. What I'm more concerned about is the guy who joins, or the guy's like, "Oh, I really want to join your game. Why do you have to be this way?" Blah blah blah. It's like I had a guy when I was actually running in-person games. He worked in medical, so he had to work every other weekend, and he never got to be in my game. And he's pissed off at me to this day over it. And it's like, dude, I run a game every week, and I'm not going to have people this inconsistent where who's showing up today? I don't do that shit.
Yeah.
You're either in the game or you're not. And you are going to commit this. The only time I didn't commit for Bear, I think was it my stepdad died? Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Well, your stepdad died.
Yeah, that's obviously an exception that maybe I'll be okay with. But that was pretty much it. He was herding cats, and I'm like, I get it. Like some people had to work. Work is not a joke. I get it. Do your work. Then my game's not for you, or we'll pick a different day, or whatever we end up committing to. That's a commitment, not just I'm not feeling today. I'm not going to be there. Well, guess what? You can just continue to not feel it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. People are very willing to join a game with absolutely no real
wishy-washy.
With no real like conviction to actually show up. It's kind of crazy.
Do you? Is there something else you can think of, like that you say like, well, I thought this was dumb for a year, never tried it, and at some point I see the error of my way, and now like I wish I would change earlier. Is that like? If not, that's fine.
I can't think of anything that's changed how I do things, but I'm more open-minded to how other people do tables. One of the most interesting things is I have played all over the world. And I'm not talking like one session in Japan and that was it. No, I mean, I played for 6 months in Japan because it took me almost a year to find a group. And I was only there 18 months. But I played 6 months. What's that?
You found a wife, though.
Yeah, I found a wife there too. Yeah. I played 6 months in Japan. I played multiple different games for a year in Korea. I even played in Kuwait. I've played, obviously played in Germany, although Germany wasn't until towards the end because I was working on some professional stuff. I've played all over the United States, and everywhere I went, I found people that played like me, or at least the majority of people played like me, and we got the rest of the table to play like me. I really did believe before I became a YouTuber that my way was not only the right way, but the way.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't until I became a YouTuber that people started talking this other stuff. I'm like, what? People do that? I used to play at War Games West in Albuquerque all the time, and I don't know anybody that did that. We had the Vampire table, the BattleTech table, we had the Dungeons and Dragons table, we had the RPGA guys, we had like people were playing Traveler. Like, Weird. Okay. I've played in all these locations, and everybody always played generally the same way we did. We might have some nuances, but that was it. We'd have a new person come in who wasn't used to our group, would act a little weird. The players would be like, "Hey, this is what we do." The person would conform. Boom. We had just always worked. And now as a YouTuber, we're going to find out like, no, we got, you guys 40, we do things this whole different way. Vet.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the miniature gamers over here. Some people used to, I don't really have many of them now, but beer and pretzels. If you do anything more than beer and pretzels and having fun and telling jokes, you're not, I'm like, do people actually play these ways? That's learning that
For
was
40
probably
years.
the biggest thing. What's that?
They've been playing like this
playing
way for 40 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I've been playing for 40 years too, but not like that. But then again, those were the people that called us dirty campaigners because, we're Hickman Manifesto guys. No, we didn't know that term then. We were trying to find, some cognitive connection between this adventure, that adventure, the next adventure. We didn't just do module of the week type stuff. None of us ever like that. That even goes to my high school groups. That goes to like all my different Air Force groups. Like, this is just so weird to me. And then, so I wouldn't say that I've changed my style. I think my style is the same, but you'd have to ask somebody who plays in one of my games today versus somebody who played in the 80s and 90s to see if that's true. But I have become more open-minded to other styles that other people will play, and not just jump into the fact that because you use battle maps and miniatures that you're a lower grade player.
Surely you've refined something in your.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not to the level of Mr. Max, but I'm always trying to improve things that are weaknesses. Like for me, one of the things that I always find to be a weakness of mine, which is why we do get into a little bit of out of character conversation, is I'm not the best describer. I go one of two routes. I over describe and they fucking just stop listening because I'm blabbing too much, or I under describe and I get the important stuff out there, but then there's no mystery.
Yeah.
Unless something's directly a red herring, there's no mystery. And that's something that I've always tried to kind of work on. And I don't know if I'm there. That's definitely something I've tried to refine, so to speak, is how to handle, we'll call it, the quote unquote box text, right? Of this.
Start with the light source.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go describe the lighting and then go kind of ceiling to floor. Hitting the big spot, hitting the big
outside
features.
to in, right?
So the way that I've kind of become a little more successful about is hitting the 5 senses.
I'm not a big fan. I think like oftentimes this is like
feels formulaic a bit.
Yeah, it's feels formulaic and it's too much oftentimes, right? Like if you get.
But to be fair, different players also expect different things as well. Some are more visual, like this idea that somebody doesn't have an imagination. Get the fuck out of this hobby. This is not for you. I'm sorry, it's not for you. This is an imaginative.
What's it called? The disorder everyone has?
Yeah, there's a legit disorder, and I'm not trying to belittle those folks, but like
I am.
I've got like 19 voices in here. None of them are telling me to kill anybody, but like I am always talking to myself. Like my entire day is me talking to myself. I'm talking to myself now as I'm talking to you guys, and that's how my imagination goes. So as the game master is describing something, or as I'm describing something, or as I'm visualizing something, I'm trying to wrap all that around to like how do I express that out and make it meaningful for the player while still kind of having my red herrings, kind of having the things that might be innocuous that sidetrack them, the things that are important but aren't like blazing in a marquee, important, and that's something that I probably always have to work on until the day that I die.
Dude, the fucking highlight, like Mystic Card.
What's that?
What?
No, we did a video
about
Mystic Card. Say like doing the highlighting stuff, right? It's like, man, you fucking like just play video games at that point.
Like, this thing, by the way, that
yellow paint everywhere.
Sparkling.
Yeah.
Why is it sparkling?
Are there like
I might recommend Max, you might try out co-creation for your
that's
one.
Or I can be a selfish jerk and say it's all mine.
Yeah, no,
but you're not describing everything. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's the way, like that, because that's the big point about co-creation. Like you say like, oh, you're it's a luxurious bedroom with drapery. You don't have to describe everything, and then like you get the vibe, and then you trust the player that it's a look. Like I don't need to tell you like there's 3 pillows on the bed, and there's a nightstand with 1 drawer. Right, I don't have to go into detail because like you've seen a bedroom in your life, or you can imagine
Right.
one what it looked like. If I told you it's luxurious, I give you some detail to give you the vibe. Fill in the blank, right? And then
In that
I don't wanna
portion
keep
of it,
pushing for the ending,
I guess when it comes to the co-creation thing, my issue isn't like how you guys are describing it today, or even maybe how you've described it in the past. My issue is I don't ever want the players to think that this is their world. It's not. They are.
Yeah.
It's just like me in real life. This isn't my Earth. I just happen to live here, and I'm going to
Yeah.
affect it in whatever ways I can. So I happen to be the god of gods when it comes to
Yeah.
whatever game I'm running there. So now, if you want a pen on the again, that writing desk, that's really not going to be an issue for me. Now, I will always have this thing in my head just because of my experiences, and will never go away till the day I die. Is like, what's he trying to manipulate? What's he trying to do? And it's not because I'm adversarial. It's because I played with players that are, and I was a player that was adversarial at one point.
Yeah.
But no, I probably wouldn't have, unless there's a reason for me to. But what I also don't want to do is to have players say, I'm going down the alleyway and I'm going to jump in the dumpster and hide. I didn't fucking tell you there's a dumpster in here. And that's probably a pretty important thing that maybe I would have told you if there's a dumpster in the alleyway.
Yeah.
No.
That's also like too many action in one round. So it's a different problem.
But you get what I'm saying, right? I don't want,
Yeah.
but if it's something small or minor, or like I said, in my preference, if the player says, if there's a dumpster here, I want to dive in it, else
Yeah.
I'm gonna run backward or whatever. Unfortunately, there's no dumpster here, but you said you wanted to run back. Give me a saving throw or give me a dex check.
Yeah.
Okay, you made it. You made it around the corner. At least you think you made it around the corner in the time before you were spotted or something like that.
Now, I don't want to make this a 4D is the best thing ever.
No.
But
conversation,
4D is
the way that we would handle the thing you're describing with the dumpster is a proper player would say, I run down the alley and towards a dumpster, and then he doesn't jump in yet, and then you would say, dumpster's locked. And then like there's no issue with him jumping in the dumpster or something if you didn't want him to be able to. You see what I'm
or
saying?
there's no
It's like-
dumpster,
right?
Yeah,
but
or
is
like
it a
you
big
just say
deal
like I
if
run
you're
to the alley and look for a place to hide, right? Like
Sure.
and then like in the gym.
Now
that'd
that
be
I
the-
wouldn't
that
that
is
I
a
wouldn't mind at all
3D
because then
that
I
is a
could say,
3D.
hey, yeah, there's a dumpster here that you could dive in, or something like that. Yeah,
that would
but
be the non-co-creation version
Yeah.
of it. Sure.
and I'm much more okay with that.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
again, that's how I handle my tables.
I just wanted to
The
explain what the move is. It's more about like because that I've often heard that critique, and the issue is usually when someone describes it in that way is that they've taken like 3 actions versus just taking a single action.
yeah.
You
And-
gotta like serve the ball up to the GM, and then they can like deny it or not.
Yeah.
deny
I'm
it.
in an apartment and I'm going to go to the circuit breaker and pull out all the the circuit breakers. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what apartments you've lived in, but none of mine ever had the circuit breaker in the apartment. Okay, it was always
Oh.
somewhere out in the hallway. So no, that's not here. Great. Now I can't do what I wanted to do. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Mhm.
Good job.
Yeah.
You look for
But
the
I also
you
like-
look for the circuit breaker and you didn't find it. Good job.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. If it's not your apartment, right? If it's not the character apartment, you probably wouldn't know where the circuit breaker is. So that would be your turn. I look for the circuit breaker, and then like the GM can educate that. If it's your apartment, if it's the character apartment, and say like in my home, I probably know where it is.
Mhm.
So then I would be more lenient. Say if I go to the circuit breaker and pull the circuit box and pull the breaker, then I say, okay, right, yeah, you probably know where it is, right? It's your fucking apartment, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's the big distinction too. That you say like, oh, it's my wall and stuff like that. Like that's I think a big point of contention that I see things differently. Like I always say like it's the character's world.
No, they
the
live in
characters
the
live in
world.
that world. They live in
No,
the world.
they live in the world. It's not their world. They
Yes.
live in it.
Yeah,
And I'm
well,
talking in ownership. It's their world that they live in.
Yeah.
Like, this is my planet that I live on. Yeah. But
Yes.
I don't control when volcanoes, erupt and, when a car tries to run me over or whatever. The
No.
best I can do is react to that.
No, but you know the world, and you know like the logic of the world and stuff like that, right? Like I'm much more like horizontal in my relationship between like I'm a role play communist.
That's fair.
But what about that example Max said? Like, if it's your apartment,
Mhm.
can I go ahead and just populate the apartment as a character? as a player character?
Yeah, depending on the situation, I'd either have you, if it's something we're going to use a lot,
Mm-hmm.
then I'd actually have you draw it out. I want to see that on paper. It doesn't have to be inch per inch on graph paper, but give me a layout for it. If it's something that you just need one time, yes, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with, because it is your apartment. I don't try to take that much agency away from the players. There was something that I was thinking. What were you saying, Mr. Matt, or was it a comment that I was looking? Something just jogged my memory and how I wanted to.
Oftentimes with just real quick while you're looking for that, oftentimes with the co-creation, we'll have like part of our session 0 we'll say how much co-creation we are okay with. So like James will be like very limited, like pencil on the drawing desk.
Yeah.
Versus what is the so it's like what is it called? The Driftwood versus Demon Baby scale.
Yes, the Driftwood Demon Baby scale spectrum.
That went from 0 to 11. Okay,
yeah, it's a scale, right? It's like you're on the beach, you can assume there's driftwood, or you dig in the horse and you say there's a demon baby,
and you rip the demon baby out of it.
So if you want to talk about some co-creation that I absolutely encourage my players to do, and it's hit and miss, it really depends on the player, is I love to use things like wives' tales, for example, or myths. Say the pot of gold under the rainbow. Now,
I want you to with, right?
What's that?
You're saying you're okay with this?
Yeah. What I actually tell, tell the players to make the world more vibrant, more alive, is come up with some wives' tales. Now, they might be true, they might not be. So, again, this is a real one on Earth, so I wouldn't want you to come up with the same thing. But the whole pot of gold under the rainbow. Well, what if you convince the other players, like, no, we got to find this, dude. We're going to find the pot of gold under the rainbow. Then I determine as the game master if that was a real wives' tale, and holy shit, you found the leprechaun there. You got to beat it, got to trick it, got to do something, and there's a pot of gold. Or no, it's rainbow keeps moving away from you because it's just light bouncing off a raindrop or whatever. But you get what I'm saying. Like, I want them to come up with things like that I can be like, ooh, this will be fun to have at some point, or to utilize at some point. I absolutely ask them to do things like that.
Yeah, vague rumors and stuff is a really good co-creation. I agree with that.
Dude, I have a couple more questions I wanted to go through before we move to something else, because like we're having this heated conversation, right? Going a lot of back and forth.
I think it's fun.
I think we all need to take a deep breath.
It's dynamic.
Stop being so angry at me, guys.
Not in that sense, right? But in the sense,
this is our version of the gift basket. We just pummel you with insults and anger.
Are there any idea in the role playing hobby that you vehemently disagree with, but you still find useful to engage with? It's a tricky question.
All right, I don't know if I'm going in the right direction. That's vehemently disagree with, but useful to engage with.
Like for me, like the Bro SR guy, right? I disagree with the way there, but I think it's interesting to. I think I gained something from looking at their vision of the game, right? And having
these 4D guys, man. No, honestly, I mean, probably if you anything that's not the way I do it. That would fall into that category. One of them that I harp on quite a bit, and I think Phil mentioned it earlier, is this whole thing, like, and it's more about the presentation of it, not the concept of it, but the whole zero prep thing. I don't believe in it. I don't believe that it's even real. I don't think it can be done unless you're just doing an improv session. I mean that in all seriousness. There's prep somewhere. Even the people who say the zero prep really come back and say, okay, it's low prep. All right. And
we're gonna invite you to a UNPC.
What's that?
We're gonna invite you to a UNPC.
Okay, but if it turns into an improv session, which is what it's going to turn into,
I don't know that you're wrong. What's the difference between improv and no prep role playing? What do you think, Max? I guess rules.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, Mr. Max, excuse me.
Yeah, you have rules. Yeah. And you're trying to portray a character. The big difference with the improv is you're trying to serve a story or an audience, depending what you're doing.
That's true.
When you're role playing, you're trying to portray a character.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
It's like I don't believe in pure sandbox play either, unless you're going to say, okay, pure sandbox play also includes the fact that sandboxes do have borders on them, but it just allows a lot of flexibility. then I would agree with it. But this whole thing where it's like, and I'm being intentionally hyperbolic when I say this, like, okay, you guys made your characters. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And I've just found that too many people, one person wants to go, fuck the barmaid. Another person wants to go avenge his family. And the other ones are like, I guess we're going to go to the quest board.
Yeah.
What quest
You
board?
get, like that was what I was saying earlier. You get to get the ball rolling, right? You have to have a premise that's going to, and then
unironically, you just described session 0. It's like, okay, you guys made your characters. What do you want to do?
Yeah,
that's kind of like a session 0 situation. You don't do that at session 1.
Yeah, or what do you want to do? No, make character that want to do that, right?
Yeah.
See, I agree with Not Your Echo on that, where it's like I provide things that they can bite on, but I always provide more than one. Depending on how much time they give me, sometimes they'll literally be like, "Yeah, we're gonna go do that right now." Okay, well, that's what you can go do. Okay, fine. But I call them timelines. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but that's what I've always called them. Where I have things that are happening. When the timeline goes to 0, the players have the world or the players or whatever have lost. When it gets to infinity, they've won. But there's always more than one going on. You can't solve all the world's woes. You can't. Some things are going to happen. You pick and choose.
I can try.
You absolutely can try, but you do the ones that work for you. And of course, other things branch off. Other machinations happen. Maybe you slowed this one down enough where you're content with it, and you now want to go to address this other thing over here.
You try to solve one issue and you cause 10 other.
Yeah, that can absolutely happen. So the point is that the world is, for me, the world is what's in flux, and they're reacting to the world in however manner they want to. Like Heathen Dog and I disagree on this one. There's another one. If you guys decide at the table, this just sucks, we're joining the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I might have to stop the session that day and say, guys, I wasn't prepared for that at all. Okay, that just took a flip I wasn't ready for. But okay, let's stop the adventure and we'll come back next week or whenever the next session is, and I will be prepared for you guys to join the enemy. Okay. All right. But I'm not going to stop them from doing that. Where some people are like, no, you can't do that. That's too railroady for my taste. I think you guys do what it is that you want to do, but the world's in flux, the world's in motion. Now, could you, if you wanted to, and have me not consider this be a bad player? Well, we want to do this other thing. I know you got, these little nuggets that we're biting on, but we want to do this other thing. Generally speaking, as long as it isn't some sort of intentional meme, I will probably be okay with it.
If it's in character, right? If it's like character motivated, then that's fair game to me.
I go one step further. If it's group motivated, because why are you playing the game if you're trying to be your own individual and not with the others?
We love having in-group conflict.
Yeah, I know you guys do, and that's the thing. I absolutely 100% squash at my table now. I've had too much of that crap in the past. I don't want to deal with that shit. You either get along or get the fuck out.
But we're not trying to do the 5 to 10 year thing, though.
No, that's
true. I don't have to do 5 to 10 years with the same characters. They can die. But my thing is, that is just intentional disruption. That's like if these people would not gel and would not be together. And even in the military, there's a fucking hierarchy that says you might not like me, but you're going to listen to me, and this is what's going to happen.
But sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes that happens that those characters don't gel and they end up like not working together.
Then make a new character.
Exactly. That's something would happen, but it's resolved at the table because, like you said, you say like it disrupt the game, but I say it's also part of the game.
No, okay, so I am a firm believer in characters growing. In like, I hate you because you're this, or I can't believe you did this one thing. We can never be friends. But then finding out, like, he did that thing, or he is an elf, or whatever happens to be that you want to hate, and you grow. No, I'm totally for that.
Yeah.
What I'm not for is an antagonistic character who's like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna steal from the wizard. I'm gonna plan it on the paladin. But this will be so much fun.
The problem with those characters is like often they're not character motivated, right? You're not playing a real person.
Right.
You're playing a meme, you're playing a gimmick and stuff like that. You're trying to be you're a disruptive player.
If players want to fight because you killed the goblins, and I think that killing goblins just because they're baby goblins is illegal or is immoral and so on and so forth, and we're going to have it out right now, that is not an issue. In fact, I love that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
this goes back to the antagonistic player when, we were trying to kill Robbie's wolf constantly, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm talking more shit like that. That's just like, hey, let's see what I can do to disrupt. Let's see what I can do to fuck with things. That's more like what I'm talking about. No, actual moments that are real character moments that is like, you have got to stop doing this crap. You know that is against my faith, that is against my religion, that you have. No, I'm not going to do I'm looking over here. Well, you're having your little moment over there. This is bullshit. You're done or you're gone. Then I'm like these guys are into it. They're doing this thing.
Like what Zarian's saying
Boom.
there, like I'm
Yes.
okay with PC conflict as long as it's resolvable and temporary. But sometimes, like
The resolution.
a character killing in the other, that's a resolution. Or one of the character moving away and then the player making a new one, that's also a resolution, right?
And what Elf Hunter said about I don't like to do this anymore, but this isn't something I'm butthurt over. The whole thing, like, there's somebody with a secret agenda in there. Like I said, I don't like that. I've done that too many times in my life. It's just boring now to me. But I can get that as well. That can be fun. Okay, I'm talking the antagonistic players who are just constantly trying to fight and be like, this is what my character would do. This is what my character would do.
Yeah.
Well, you know what our characters would do? We'd kick you the fuck out.
Yeah, and like the thing is, like, what bothers me with so much with this this sensor, that's what my character would do, is like, technically, that's what you should do for role play.
Mhm.
You should do what your character should do. The problem is not that. The problem is like that your character is not a real person. That your character is that's a guy that wouldn't have made it up to the adult age without being kicked. Without being killed or like having his ass severely beaten
or
it's
learning a
character nobody
lesson.
would
An
work
ass
with.
whooping never hurt nobody.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's the problem, because like, yes, I want my player to do what the character would do, but the character should be a reasonable person or people.
Or at
But
least
what happens in a
believable.
lot of groups though is that, like, well, that's the character he made, and we don't want Jim to not show up anymore or whatever because he really loves this character. I don't have that compulsion. I'm like, no, Jim, we're gonna have a conversation. You're either gonna tone it down, you're gonna find a way to make it more ingratiate yourself to the group, or I can't have you here because all they want to do is kill you, or all you're doing is disrupting everything. When you disrupt something the wrong way, the vampire eats you. Like, this whole thing, well, if that happens, that happens. No, that means you're intentionally, nobody wants to go out there and get eaten by a vampire or by a ghoul or whatever.
Well,
Once again, your players are terrible.
oh, it's like Sishi.
Yeah, it's a good point.
All right.
My players have actually been generally good. This has been my experience more as a player.
Well, maybe it's time to open up the rules a little bit, Max. Maybe allow the conflict back in a little bit.
Yeah.
No, like I said,
I would
allow
Jim has been, or Bill or whatever has left the building. Maybe we can start playing again.
Yeah.
You
have to yield your trauma.
If Jim would be okay with other characters stabbing him in the heart and then making a new character, I would probably let that happen. But you know what happens is, here's an example. Here's actually an example. I was a player in a played-in fantasy game. I was playing a dark priest, and this dude was playing a paladin. His character died.
Yeah.
So I brought his stupid ass back as one of my zombies. He flipped a fucking gas because he's like, "Don't do it. Don't you bring my character back." And I'm like, "You're dead. You're a tool." And that zombie's a fucking tool from or whatever it was, and he is 30 years later still angry at me over this. He's like, I told you not to do that.
Like ironically angry? Or?
No. His next character, he decided to make an assassin.
Yeah, that's dumb.
And guess who his target was? Not because the game master said it.
Was it the zombie?
I wish it was a zombie. That would have been at least hilarious. No, it was me.
I figured, yeah.
Like, I think that's why like Phil and I can lean into this like in-character conflict, in group conflict, because like we know we can make the distinction. I'm not gonna get mad, right? Like if it wasn't justified in character and stuff like that, and we get close sometimes.
We both enjoy it.
Yeah, we would enjoy it because there's so much.
I like confrontation. I like the Racelands of the group, or the how the Legolas and Gimli had that that kind of friendly competitiveness from the race. I absolutely love stuff like that. But like I said, like just using that played in fantasy example, you get the player that all of a sudden, okay, now he brings an assassin who actually had a real target from the game master, because the game master told me, no, you were not his target, but just wanted to take it out on me because I did something he didn't like as a player, which is totally in character for my character. And we needed it.
Very mature.
Yeah, you're right, but that's what I'm talking. That's why, as a game master, I'm just like, you know what? Stop it. Like, just
Yeah.
make a character that's going to integrate with the group. And if you've got some idiosyncrasy, that's fine. Just don't make it something that you intentionally, well, you know what, they're gonna have to save me one day for this. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to meet and be next to each other at some point, right?
Yeah.
It's not like, all right, let's go, team of friends. That's why it's like kind of nice to have them all meet in session one. So it's like, are they going to get together? Or not?
so I like what Free League does, and this is one of the things I'm going to do in my Pigs in Space game, is they're going to have a relationship. So what is your relationship? Now, what I love about it is your relationship could be, I don't know this sumbitch, and I need to get to know him better. That it could be as simple as that. I absolutely love the relation with like Forbidden Lands and the other ones where they have that relationship aspect in there, because it gives you something to role play towards.
Have you seen that during a new? I didn't put in the Kickstarter thing. I could have. I should have, because you're here. But they're doing a new like Year Zero
Did I freeze?
game. No,
Yes.
can you still hear us?
did.
Not for me.
He's frozen now.
I saw
yeah.
everybody freeze.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
you're not
back
frozen
now.
now. I
No.
still have audio for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. I have no network issues that hit, but yeah, everybody froze. So I'm guessing it was on my end.
Oh, but they're doing like a new Year Zero engine game, sci-fi game called.
Yeah,
Star
I was
Tracker.
mentioning that at the beginning of the stream. The artwork has
Yeah.
me so turned off on that one that I might
Oh yeah.
get
That's
it.
why I
at
didn't.
some
That's
point.
why I didn't include it in the Kickstarter thing.
Is Paizo's art all bad, or I've never really been a Paizo guy.
Well, that wasn't.
not
This is Free
Paizo.
League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
No,
it's not Free League
Free
doing it.
League's art is actually usually pretty well done for its setting. It's evocative of the setting. Like Vaesen, I think, does a good job with his black and white line art. Forbidden Lands also does a really good job with the black and white line art. I think Coriolis has that Arabic feel, does a really good job. Like, I really think that they really do well
Yeah,
with the art.
Coriolis is awesome. Yeah.
So yeah. So if you know that, I think they're generally good, which is why it's a turnoff for me for this, because I don't want to play baby's first sci-fi game.
Is it
Yeah.
it like is it Free League doing it, or just like somebody using the Year Zero engine?
I don't know.
I don't think it's Free League doing this one. I think it's Indie.
Either way, I love the Year Zero engine. It's one of my favorite systems, but I'm not interested. I might get it later on, but I'm certainly not going to back it on the Kickstarter.
All right.
What is it?
It's
With
just,
the
it's just a sci-fi
sci-fi game. Yeah.
No, but okay. I thought you meant
It's,
like
it's more of a generic, instead of Coriolis having, like the Horizons, or if you're doing the new one now, where they're the kind of exploration, or the alien, you're in the alien universe, so to speak. This is more generic.
Yeah, I think it's called like what, Starcracker? Is it?
Yeah, something like Star
Yeah.
something.
As hosting GMI, change how you think about role-playing game, or about the people that play them.
The biggest thing, like I said before, is just how diverse it really is.
All right. There you
And
go.
we were talking about before about like Dogmatic, how funny it is how dogmatic almost everybody is about how they play, even the ones that like to say, no, I'm very open-minded. No, because when you talk, you're just as dogmatic, in
All
one
right.
way, shape, or form, or the other. And I think that's okay. Kevin Simbita likes to say that role-playing is personal,
Yeah,
and that's
it's
probably the
Starbreaker.
best Starbreakers. That sounds right.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think that's the best way to describe it. That's probably the best way I've ever heard anybody describe it. And I love that comment, is role-playing is personal. So we're going to take it as our, dogma or religion, so to speak. So
Yeah.
I think
explains
that
it
it's
so well.
important. I think it's important to be curious. If you're
Yes.
just like totally incurious when someone else is telling you their ideas, then that's not good. I think that's the bad side of it.
I have one more question I want to ask, and then we're gonna move on. And if you want to leave at that point, I'd like you to stay, because like then we're gonna have some fun. But like, if you want to leave, I understand it's late.
I don't like fun. I'm leaving.
What is the one thing that you would like to see change in the hobby?
Because there's definitely more than one.
Top
I don't know,
three.
Okay,
Top three. If you want to run,
the biggest thing, and I don't know if this is a change. It's almost like the antithesis of a change.
No.
I'd like people. Okay, I got it. I want older gamers, experienced gamers, to not vet, but to train newer gamers better. This whole
Oh.
crap where it's like do whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want. It's just fine. No, and this goes to the other one. There are reasons why traditions, tropes, and things that we did exist. You know, there's a reason. So if I saw Phil go away, am I here?
Yeah,
I'm
You
yeah,
still
not-
hear me?
I feel
Okay.
like I'm here.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I got a spinning wheel for me for a moment, so I didn't know if that was me
No.
or not.
I didn't get anything. I think it's you.
Okay. The thing for me is that doesn't mean everybody has to play the same way, but stop telling me that we're some sort of istophobe because orcs are monsters, and that's what they are. They are not
Yeah.
character classes. They're not they're monsters. Now, you might make your own game, say Earth Dawn, where orcs aren't monsters. That's fine. But stop telling me that my D&D game, I have to treat them like they're people. They are made by maybe it's a goblins or made by Grumsh, but they're made by an evil god to do evil things. Therefore, we kill them. That's what they are. And stop trying to turn these fucking tropes on their head, which will be the third thing that I'll say. My biggest pet peeve on character creation is people who play against type. I don't care if you min-max. I don't care if you do something that's viable. I don't care if you have a new twist on something. But playing against type is so lazy.
You can.
And game
Or it's
designers are doing it
Salvatore.
now. They're like game designing against type. It's like, stop it.
Drizzt kind of fucking phenomena.
You know why Drizzt Do'Urden is so popular? Because or so prominent, so known? Because he's the only one.
Yeah.
That's why. Not because you're also him and he's also him and he's also and he's no. Screw that nonsense. Stop playing against type. Find a way to be interesting within the type of whatever genre it is that you're playing. So I think all three of those things kind of go hand to hand, where we're not doing a good job of educating folks as to why these tropes exist, why they're important, where they come from. And if you want to change it, that's fine. But here's the avenue to do it, not just to say that, oh, everything you've done for the last few years is wrong or whatever it happens to be.
All right. Well, thank you, Max, for your time on that. Like I said, if you want to stay, I think I'd like it because I think the next segment that are coming are fun. Which this is what the show is all
That's what
about.
the show's about. It's about the
Yeah.
fourth hour.
Okay.
Because now we're gonna go do
My wife's
we
not
call
yelling at me
here-
yet, so I'll hang out.
the exposition.
Oh,
You like my graphic, Max? Phil, get your fucking wheel ready.
honestly,
You had
it's
one
like I didn't even
job.
think about it. The wheel.
Yeah. So I can explain while you get that ready. I'm gonna explain what
Yeah,
it is.
get
Like
that- get-
for people at
go
home not
to folks at
watching.
home.
We have to have this creative moment in the show we call the exposition, where we spin some wheels and we're gonna create together something that we can try to make new. And the something is going to be defined by one wheel. So it can be an NPC, it can be a premise, it can be a setting, it can be a what's the word, like a MacGuffin. It can be
Mhm.
something like that. And then we're gonna spin another wheel twice to get some flavor that we have to put it, right? Is it gonna be horror? Is it gonna be fantasy? Is it gonna be modern, sci-fi, western, right? And so we get two flavor that we have to mix together. So we tried
Yeah.
with that, like to create something that is that has never been seen before.
I know.
Yeah,
How come
and
it's showing
usually
my
with
tabs? What are we doing, guys?
yeah, quick look all the tabs.
Quit looking at my tabs.
I'm looking at your tabs, Phil.
Stop it.
Oh, you really
Yeah.
wanted to stop. You haven't like stopped sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
don't think it that way.
what was the?
Whenever you're ready.
Wait, is this co-creation? I'm out.
Oh yeah, we're creating.
Yeah, we're creating. It's not co-creation because it's done like it's prep, but it's prep. We're prepping something.
Prep,
But you know, then we have like those ideas, and if people want to use them at home, they can, right? All right, let's spin that wheel.
Spinning.
We never got faction, did we?
One day we'll get faction.
Oh, a PC. All right.
A player character.
Yeah, it's clapping.
All right. And this player character is in this type of themes
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get Gonzo for once.
for once. Surprise drifts. Oos.
Oof.
It's a surprise riffs game, Max.
Yeah.
So I knew I was here.
You must have.
Oh wait, I don't do riffs.
Time traveling
Time
rift.
Oh,
travel,
Lord.
time
The
traveling
worst
rift.
trope ever.
So all right. So that's what's going on now. We have to make a character for a time traveling game with surprise rift. Or whatever that means.
Well,
We
we usually give Max the
Yeah.
first crack at it.
Yeah.
The
Time
guest.
traveling. If we need to say surprise riffs, what does that mean for the
So like you're
purposes?
playing a time traveling game,
Yep, got that.
and then surprise, it's actually a rifts game. There's a rift.
Oh, so you're actually
Yeah.
talking real riffs. Okay, I wasn't sure. Like,
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it's
I don't
every
know
game
sometime
can
when-
be a surprise rifts game.
Yeah.
So
well,
it's
I mean
nice.
that just happens. So I mean
Yeah.
that there's nothing unique about that. Okay. So a PC who's a time here we go.
Time
I got it.
travel.
So Lord Simultaneous
Mhm.
Oh,
has
wow.
an
I love
apprentice, and that is you.
Okay.
That is the PC. The you is going to be the PC in this case.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a time traveler
Yeah.
out of transdimensional TMNT.
Okay.
That one of his spells goes awry, and
Oh.
he gets rifted into rifts, and
Yeah.
now he bebops around there with his time travel spells. That's the overview of it.
So there
Okay.
is time travel spells in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
I remember watching you do the video on that actually. They're like kind of crazy, if I remember.
And I hate the name Lord Simultaneous. I always have, but I guess it's legit. So
It's kind of a badass name, actually. I kind of
That's
like it a
good
lot.
I don't like things like that that are on the
That's
nose.
the
It's like
Yeah.
Lucas naming all his Darth
Yeah.
evil.
Well,
Was it
They
Futurama
kind
had
of
a
choose their
great
own name,
joke to
right?
that.
Yeah.
What's that?
They choose their own name, no? The Darth.
I'm Darth Evilist.
Sidious. Yeah.
Like
Oh, I guess you're
That's-
Sidious. No, I'm Darth Sidious. Oh.
Take the in out, and then
Yeah.
Darth.
And then put the
well, damn.
Yeah.
I guess we nailed it. I don't know. Did we?
well,
nail
that
it
was just a
already?
10,000. Don't we have to dive into that more? Or
Yeah, we can dive in more, but it's pretty good.
So it's TMNT. Are
Let's
we
talk about
making him a
goals and
mutant?
motivation.
well, so if I remember correctly, and when I did my transdimensional, I never allowed magic, so I can't remember. I think no, you can be a mutant. Yeah, you can be a mutant. Never mind, you can be a mutant.
Okay.
You don't have to be one of the Time Lords. I was thinking you're an apprentice. You could be just an apprentice to the Time Lord, and his spell went awry, and now you got rifted to rifts, and you're like, crap, I'm stuck.
I got to get back into the other time dimension.
Yeah.
Like, how do you do that? So it's like time travel is through some sort of dimensional.
So time travel and transdimensional TMNT is through these things called twists and cycles.
Mhm.
Twists, if I remember correctly, are the narrow ones. They're like in our modern age, it's 125-year jumps. And as you
Yeah.
go back further and further in the ages, those jumps become 1,000 years, 5,000 years, a million, whatever. And then cycles are more like epochs. It's more like, I'm going to the Mesozoic. So you got to hit. So you don't get to the actual year
That's South America,
specifically
right?
you want.
Mhm.
You get close.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can probably predict the dinosaurs that'll be around you when you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
there.
You go
Okay.
there because you want like a T-Rex omelet, right? So you
Yeah.
get some eggs.
You might
Yeah.
see your omelet.
And then a
What is,
shifter comes in.
Yeah. What is
Yeah.
the goal and motivation of this character? This apprentice.
Well, see,
that
wouldn't that kind of depend on if is this the Time Lord himself who misjumped, or is this the apprentice that is now just kind of stuck on his own?
That's
If
what
it's a
I'm
PC,
saying.
I
So
think
he's,
it's more interesting if it's the apprentice, right?
Okay,
he's trying to get back into this, like, was it twists and
but if he's the apprentice, he doesn't have any of those abilities.
right, but he has like some sort of techno wizardry device. or
Well,
something
But he
like
know and he know that those
Ooh.
those ability exist. So now you want to learn them.
Oh, no, you're both a little off, but little on, and this is awesome. So,
Okay.
the time travel device, he would know how to make it. Like he
Oh,
would know
okay.
how, like he's got the skills to make the time travel device. He just doesn't have the equipment and so on and so forth. A techno wizard could help him out with that, but it's probably going to be like, dude, this isn't even. What are you talking about? This isn't possible. If they could get their their noggins together, a techno wizard time travel device for TMNT, Kevin and Sean are going to be on my show tomorrow. I'm gonna bring that up to him and be like, we solved rifts.
Yeah. There you go. We
So he
nailed
needs
it.
to
I like
somehow,
it.
maybe he needs a ley line walker as well. I don't know. But like, I feel like you need to get
Oh,
back
sorry
to
for
the
that.
rift so that you can go through those. What's it called? Twists
So it's twists and cycles for
and
the
cycles. So
for the time travel. But yeah, he
maybe
probably
the
needs like a
interaction
nexus.
of those, maybe those, yeah, the interaction of those
Yep.
can like is like in some other plane.
Oh, we can have more fun with this.
existence
No,
or
he has to go to Phase World. So he has to go to a true sci-fi setting.
Yeah.
Oh. And then something he's got to go deal with something in the three galaxies somewhere that actually now
that's
brings.
the whole fucking campaign, right? That's the whole campaign.
Oh yeah,
arc.
that's right.
Yeah.
We don't want
I
this
love
just
it.
to be a one shot, right? We want this
No.
to be a deal.
Well, then we got to raise the stakes a little bit
Uh-oh.
because I'm trying to get back home is not enough for this techno wizard to hang around. There has to be some sort of doomsday situation, unraveling time.
Well,
I
the
can't
tech
back
wizard
home.
could just be an
If I
NPC
can't
though.
get my MacGuffin back to Lord Simultaneous, then
But
time's
if
gonna
the techno wizard's an NPC and he has to go gather all these parts for him,
techno
There's
wizards.
probably
not
like be other,
not
there's
a
probably other PC
I'm
around,
saying
right? So
it
maybe like the
could
other.
be. And by
Could
the
be,
way,
but it could
Kevin
be other
actually wants
PC.
to make them NPCs in the future. He wants
Oh,
to
yeah?
remove them as player character classes. Yep.
No, but like the maybe like the reason why his master was trying to send him back in time and then it flopped and he went back in a different dimension was because there was a cataclysm coming up home, and we're gonna send you back in time so you can avert this cataclysm.
Mm.
So now he has to go.
He lost his returner.
Yeah.
He fell
Not,
off
well, not
in
only that, yeah, but
the
now like
stream.
maybe it was meant to be a one-way trip, but
he
he was
didn't
like
know it.
sacrificing.
Oh, so
No,
he's
but
gonna
no,
like
I know it.
he's gonna
He was
No,
not
no,
with
yeah,
it.
no, come on. I think it'd be more
What?
fun. Like, no, we got you.
Okay.
We'll bring it back, and then he gets there.
cool,
Like,
actually,
I
yeah.
sucker.
All right,
He's like,
that's good.
no, he gave me this device to get back. And then the guy holds it. It's like, it's just a time capsule.
or he slaps that button and just falls apart like plastic junk.
Yes.
Just a note that says, bury this at these coordinates and have a good life. Like, oh shit.
I like it.
Bastard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
he's
also
trying to
like
get back because he's actually married. He's got a family.
Yeah.
In time.
But
time
also
travel
like
now.
he didn't actually go in the past where he was supposed to go. He went into this other dimension, right?
Yeah.
So it's
because
it's
the
more than one
surprise rift.
complication.
The surprise rift.
So not only like
travel.
he's stranded,
Yeah.
he's stranded in a different dimension, and
Dude,
didn't
he's
get
got
to
a
solve
time
this
travel
issue.
device. But if you know anything about transdimensional TMNT, there are dimensional devices and time travel devices. He has a time travel device. That's not going to help him at all. He has to get a dimensional device now.
yeah,
There you go.
yeah, there
It's
you
a
go.
phase world for sure. It's a phase world campaign now.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have to be.
Maybe I would maybe some what's that called? The Splugorths? I don't know what it's going.
It's Splugorth, yeah.
Yeah, I just want them involved. I don't know why.
Because they have the cool slavers.
I don't know what they are.
Mainly because of the hotties, yeah.
Oh,
The hot Atlantis art. That's why.
This
There
is
it
not a
is. Pull it up.
Splugorth itself, but this is a Splugorth slaver.
Yeah. That's the one.
I like the slave.
Got me through many a teenage nights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. So did
Nailed
we
it.
nail it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we nailed it.
I think we
that's
got like
interesting.
three awesome
mean,
ideas.
we got
Each one
lots,
of us
yeah.
gets to be one of these guys.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's all be a character.
Oh yeah, maybe
So
yeah,
one of us
maybe that's the whole
is-
thing.
One of us is a time traveling potential mutant. I think that
One of
Techno
us-
Wizard is still allowed. And
One of us is like and one of us is just a native from that world.
the phase
the
world
first-
guy.
Yeah.
Or the,
Yeah, the guy who actually takes us places like, hey, where do we find a locket or the mineral that's going to allow us to jump dimensions? And of course, the techno wizard is then like, okay, what he really means is we need to find some X, Y, and Z crystal, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh yeah, we'll get you there.
a nice
Yeah, there you
phase
go.
world city rat. You
It's
know
all
what I mean?
campaign now, right? People
Yeah. Oh, Max
You're
froze for
welcome.
me.
already, not for me.
Is that no, I mean you, Mr. Max froze.
For
Excuse
me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just like moving.
You lost a frame.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Nailed it. We
Okay,
go to
nailed
the other wheel.
Nailed it.
We have another and last segment that we
Wow,
call.
you want to explain to the folks?
Here
about
we
it?
go again.
Here we go again.
You're gonna love this one, Max.
Okay.
because that's the wheel of rents. We spin another wheel. You know, like
of
in
rent.
in RPG 2, right? People always go back to the same topic over and over again, right? Like the season,
God.
and then like so we put all those topics on a wheel, and we
I'm
can
so glad we're going to talk about it. We
roll
kind
it.
of started talking about it.
Yeah, gimmick in RPGs.
Ah.
There you go. You want to rant about that? You have something to say about like people using like RPG using gimmicks,
Yeah.
like Dread with the Jenga
Oh,
tower,
Jenga nonsense. Yeah. I'm
the seven
outside-
candle.
okay. Yeah. No, I got one. I got one that'll upset a lot of people too, because a lot of people like this. Don't fucking put cards in my game.
Oh,
It's
Yeah.
dice. That's it. No cards. It's even Free League. I change all that stuff to D6 or D10. I
Yeah.
don't. Cards are stupid. In Deadlands, I kind of get it because at least it's thematic there.
Yeah.
But no, get your stupid cards out of my game. When I'm playing BattleTech, I'm not using a deck of cards to determine initiative. I'm rolling dice like a real man. I can count.
Yeah.
I can do math. I
Men
fucking
use
hate-
cards.
I
all
fucking
right?
hate cards. All that nonsense.
Men can play cards. It's fine.
Real men?
Well,
You can play cards, that's fine, but not in RPGs. And then actually,
Yeah.
to piggyback on that, to also hit Savage Worlds again, use real words. Bennies,
Oh,
you
yeah.
sound like a fucking 3-year-old.
I also hate bennies.
Yeah, I hate bennies as well. The term. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think cards can have their place, right? Like for initiative, if you have you pick one card per player and then you shuffle them and give it like it has to ensure that nobody's gonna go in the same time. If you roll dice and two people roll a 6, well then who's going
Then you
first?
both go at the same time.
I agree
That
with
can
that,
happen.
right?
That's weird how two
Yeah.
people can actually somehow go at the same time.
It is weird. No, but I said a card can have. I think they often misuse. I think they can have a place, but when you start like bringing like board game mechanics and shit like that, right? Like, oh, we're gonna do like bag drawing for like.
Oh, I
trying-
see.
like, that's- I'm
You're
trying to
talking
do
like for
something else.
initiative where they reach in the bag and they pull.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they no.
Like Gloomhaven.
Yeah. I'm trying to do something else. I'm trying to be in the mindset of my character. When you make me interact with toys,
Mhm.
basically, right? Then that draw me out of my character in a sense, right? I'm no longer looking at the world through the eyes of my
Perfect
character.
that you call
No,
that
like,
gimmicks, by the way. I think anything that isn't pen, paper, dice. I know some people do their character sheets online. That's fine, whatever. But it isn't like the rule book, dice, imagination,
men.
pencil, and paper. Everything else is a gimmick after that. It's unnecessary. You don't need it. I don't want it.
Okay, so I would say it's kind of what we were talking about before, where
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate the idea of using a deck of playing cards if it was like a Western,
Yeah, like
or
Deadlands. Yep.
yeah, or like something that like where it's a nod to the tone and the theme. So you could have like those kind of tarot things that have like art related to the game potentially. I think that's when a gimmick is done best.
But it's still a gimmick.
I wonder,
Yeah.
because you talked about gimmicks take away immersion or are counter to immersion. Is it any more of a counter to immersion than dice themselves? And why is rolling dice not immersion breaking?
Because rolling dice is very unobtrusive, right? It's like it can be done like so
flip a
fast, and
card.
we're used to it. Yeah, flip a card, yes. When you get to shuffle the card, it's more demanding than rolling a dice.
Yeah,
So there's
shuffling.
that. Yeah.
You can kind
Yeah.
of do that brainlessly.
No, man.
If you're like deck building, obviously that's different. But like just like shuffling a deck of cards to do it. But I'm just saying, like, dice kind of if it's the alternative to dice, then I don't really think you are pushing past what dice are doing anyways. You know?
Yeah. Like I've seen like a game like there's like Fate of the Norn, right? Like that you have to flip runes and stuff like that. And it's thematic with the game because it's the Viking inspired game, but it's also like it doesn't add much. It's
I would say
story
that is
factor.
not a dice replacement, and in which case I would say that that's like in that minis on maps, and then we're I think that's more immersion breaking. But I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of like, and what my point is that I used to think that these types of gimmicks were just like antithetical completely to
Yeah.
immersion. Now I'm kind of have a softer opinion about it because it's not really any different to me than actually picking up dice, which don't look like anything in the game, and
Well,
then
yeah, but
rolling them.
no, but like, it depends also.
But
Like when we talk
the
about
delivery,
dreads, right?
yeah, the
When you have
delivery.
to, you have to, like, to succeed your action, you have to successfully pull a block from a Jenga tower, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
And then like that's a horror game, and then like you say you're gonna be stressed because of like you don't want to make the tower
Mm.
fall. So it's like
Yeah.
it align, but like it's no longer in character, right? Like like I'm no longer
Right.
thinking in character. I'm like focusing on this Jenga tower thing, right? And it can be a fun party game, not opposed to that.
Mhm.
But as our role playing game, like you're moving away from it, right?
I agree with
Role-playing
you.
games are pen, paper, dice, rulebook.
Yeah.
Anything else is a gimmick. Now, you got a good gimmick, bad
agree with
gimmick,
that
or
too.
whatever. Anything else is a gimmick and unnecessary. And I think that the weirder that people get about adding these different things, like the whole Jenga thing and so forth, I don't know if they're just trying to, strike lightning or, get struck by lightning, so to speak. They're like we're gonna find the next big thing, or if they just like clown shoes, and I don't like clown shoes. So
Yeah. Daryl say
Yeah,
like
I'm more being devil's advocate because I pretty much totally agree with you guys, but I just wanted
Yeah.
to play the devil's advocate a little bit.
Daryl mentioned like the Blade in the Dark retro time gimmick. Like I think that's also apply, right? Like those mechanic, but
Mhm.
they're not gimmick in the sense that you don't have toys at the table or whatever, right? You don't have like an extra material stuff, but you have this thing where like
It would be under the umbrella of gimmick, though, for sure.
yeah, it's
Shadow
it's a
Dark's
mechanical gimmick.
torch mechanic would be a gimmick in
Yeah.
that case.
Torch mechanic
true.
would be a gimmick, which I'm not like. It's the big innovation in the sense of a Shadow Dark, and it's the part of Shadow Dark that I like the least, in a sense, right? Like this in time, and I think also that
It's
get
kind
in the way of
part that I'm most
immersion and role
curious about.
play.
I'm much
Kind of-
I am
it's kind-
much less against that. I'm actually more for that kind of stuff than I am tokens and Jengas and cards and whatever else. If your game has a gimmick, that'll just help me determine is it a gimmick that improves the gameplay or makes it it enhances the setting, because obviously that's
Yeah.
most important to me. Then
Yeah.
okay, then it's fine. But if it's something that you're just putting there to be silly or just gets in the way,
Yeah.
then
But like in Shadow Dark, you again like bringing something out of character
Mhm.
as a consideration in the narrative, the way the game goes, right? Like now you have to consider like a real time clock, in a sense. So
Right.
you also, even though like you basically you need to bring something too. You don't only need your pen, paper, character sheet, and dice. You also need a clock
Mhm.
to keep track of time. So there's that, right?
I mean, it's not really a big issue.
I mean, not all
Yeah.
gimmicks are inherently bad, but they are gimmicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's a good gimmick?
I like the push for Free League. I like the push mechanic.
Okay.
What is that?
So in Free League, if you fail a roll,
Mhm.
you can push. So the way it works is, well, I'll do the Forbidden Lands. It's the easiest one for me to just rattle out. If you roll, so you have base dice, which are your attributes. You have a skill dice, and you have gear dice. So if you have a good sword or
yeah.
whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
if you roll, let's just for the sake of argument, you roll all ones. Doesn't
Mhm.
matter. Nobody cares. You just failed. But if you decide to push your roll, you wouldn't actually be able to do that because they're all ones. But let's say
Yeah.
you rolled dice and you just get random numbers out there, and you didn't get a 6 or you didn't get enough 6s for what you want to do. You roll them again. Now you don't roll your 6s because those are already successes. You also don't roll your 1s because now
Oh,
those
they're
will come back to hurt you. It's only when you push your roll that those ones will come back to harm you.
Yeah.
Either you break, your sword takes damage, or you take attribute damage because you
Attribute,
strained
yeah.
yourself or whatever. I like that because it gives you a second opportunity, but it's not a stupid like hero point or some other nonsense like that I can't stand.
That's almost just system. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's just
Yeah.
like a rolling system.
But it is
Well,
still
it's like
a
push
gimmick.
your luck. Yeah, I mean, that's
but it is beyond, hey, roll, succeed, fail, move on. There's a gimmick to it that you can do. I mean, I would consider the momentum mechanic from like Modiphius to be a gimmick as well. I mean, that's not necessarily good, bad, otherwise. I don't really like it, but I'm saying, so things like that to me are gimmicky because that's what sets them apart from somebody else and add some sort of flavor in there.
Okay,
I like
in that sense, I can see like there could be like, if you consider those as gimmick, yes, there's good gimmick.
I mean,
like
if you
when,
don't,
like,
then I'd have to think deeper about it. Obviously, the
what-
torch mechanic, you know.
like when we think about those things, like I think like the gimmick that brings, for me, like it's when like it brings something from that is not in character. Like, you know, if you ask like some player skill, or if you ask some like out of character consideration, like then like you fall into the bad gimmick.
Yeah.
Party game, right? Party game kind of shit.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't
like-
see. The thing is, I just don't play a lot of games with those kind of things, so it's hard for me to.
And maybe there's a reason for it.
Yeah, I think it's all unnecessary nonsense that gets added to a game, either to sell more product or to show, look, mine's actually different than that one over there.
I mean, that you want different, don't you?
No, well, I want different, but I want it within. So I'm almost like this with everything. I want different, but within the construct. So a tabletop role playing game is pen, paper, book, dice, imagination. That is it. Nothing else. That's how I want every single role playing game I ever play to be. With that said, now there's sci-fi, there's horror, there's a bunch of different systems and mechanics and settings and worlds that you can do within that. Going back to the Earthdawn thing that we were talking about a long time ago, or my game, because it does the same thing. One of the things I loved about Earthdawn that I just gravitated to instantly when it came out was the fact that in order to be a discipline, in order to get the power behind your abilities, you had to think a certain way. You had to have a specific worldview. And when you talk to people, oh my God, it's taken away my agency. Everything's cookie cutter. That's just your lack of imagination. If you can't see how one sword master can be different from another sword master, that's lack of imagination on your part. I actually love that because it allows me to say, okay, I know what I am, but I can do this my way.
Oh, you see, that's an interesting question like that. You know, like I'm a bit advocate for Pendragon. And the reason I'm a big advocate for Pendragon is because like everybody's gonna play a male human knight. They make it less true now with the 6th edition, which I think is a mistake. But like, and for me, it's always been like, well, that forced you to find something interesting in your character, right? That's not gonna be his race or his class or race or class combo, right? So it's personality basically. But in the sense, you could also say like that's a gimmick. That's a gimmick of the game that everybody is a human knight.
Yeah.
A human knight, right? And I think that'd be a good gimmick.
I mean, like,
I think that the push mechanic kind of falls into your framework. So I guess that was your point. If the gimmick falls within the framework, then you're okay with it. Is that kind of what your point is, Max?
Me, Max?
Yeah.
So I mean, Elf Hunter said something. Just give me a skill list and % chance to do each thing. Like I'm the type of person. I like skill based games. I like class based games. I think hybrids. There's only one successful one. The rest of them suck. But I like. But what I've run into in skill based games is that's when people do the most of the min maxing. They got to get the perfect skills and perfect synergies.
Sure.
And so you basically create a class. Then anyway, I see it all the time in Call of Cthulhu or even BRP. Even though I love the system, I played back in the day. I played Stormbringer, and it was people like, okay, how can I get these skills to perfectly synergize, or how can I get the best out of everything here? So you basically just made a class. You just didn't call it a class. I'm not saying everybody does that, but that's just been my experience. Is how people do it. And all of a sudden, people start looking at your character. Say, oh, dude, why did you take that skill? It doesn't do blah 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 blah. And why'd you? Well, if you want me to play a class, then let's play a class-based game.
Those are annoying player though.
Yeah, they are.
There's also like
you need to get rid of these players, Max.
Yeah.
So no, that's why I like being a game master, because then I am the authority over this.
Anyway, I think there's an interesting conversation about those gimmick in role playing game.
Yeah, I think defining gimmick is probably a big part of it. But anything
that's
that
true.
is like a physical kind of
Yeah.
toy and stuff, I think we agree.
Yeah, I think we agree on that. And then, like,
Yeah.
if we are a bit more generous with the definition of a gimmick, well, then yeah, some of them are good, some of them are like yeah, you're just trying
Because
to.
I think a lot of the ones that we ended up describing ended up just being like the system, and so it's like
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you
is-
tack
system
something
is
on a
theme,
system, doesn't
system's
that become
flavor.
gimmicky?
Sure, and
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not called a
Yeah.
gimmick, but
Mhm.
just like you said, gimmicks aren't all bad. Gimmicks aren't.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, I think we can wrap it up now, right?
All right.
We've
Hey,
been
I got one more question.
long a lot. Yeah.
I got one quick question for you, Max Liao.
Uh-oh.
Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I always
Mr.
have fun
Max, did
doing
you have
stuff
fun?
like this.
I did have fun. Did you, Phil?
I had fun.
Yeah. And I hope people watching at home had fun. If you watch live or if you watch on the replay. Thank you, Phil, for joining me, and thank you, Max Liao, and happy birthday again. Even though like now
Yeah,
it's
happy birthday.
past.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Thank you for coming, and thank you for sticking like long like that, like past your
Yeah.
bedtime.
I have
Good.
I have a live stream at 11 in the morning tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good luck with that live stream. With you're talking to Sean and Kevin, both
Kevin
of them.
Sambita and Sean Owen Robertson from Palladium Books, and the topic is about burbs. Kevin actually wanted to talk about this one specifically. It's about playing riffs in the burbs. So something I'm not knowledgeable about.
Okay.
But it's about. I think the whole idea is the fact that hey, we got these offshoots of the cities. Everybody either wants to play in Chi-Town or they want to play in the big wilderness. There's so much you can do in these little shantytown burb areas, and I think he just wants
my last riffs game was in the burbs.
Oh, well, then tomorrow will be awesome. Find out if you did it right or wrong. No.
Yeah.
Or maybe
that was the one with my friends, by the way, guys. The one I'm talking about.
Yeah, the one
Awesome.
we talked about on that show a lot. We followed the development of it.
It's quite a roller coaster.
But thanks again for having me. I really do appreciate it, and this was absolutely a fun time.
Next Friday, I'll be on GMI with you again, right?
Yeah, we'll be talking. I think it's something more to do with combat because I know this is the month of combat. So I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but we're gonna be talking about.
Yeah, it's gonna be good anyway. So people should just tune in.
I might try to wrangle Crispy and Max into a session 0 tomorrow.
Session
We'll
0.
see.
Oh yeah, new session 0.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I might not be available.
Brian and the wine. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe next week then.
Yeah. All right. So thank you. I'm gonna press on the button now. That's how I end my stream. That's what I say when I end the stream. I'm pressing the button now. Take care. All.